Welcome to Balls and Brews. Cheers, boys.
Welcome, guys.
Cheers.
Pod 93.
Zima. It don't really taste like anything.
I'm not mad at that.
Lime,
I'm not mad at that. Trev, please hold this up for our good viewership audience here. Zima. Currently only sold in Japan and remains popular there after being discontinued in the United States in 2008. So anybody around our age and whatnot will remember the OG Zima ads where everybody was stuck to like the chair and shit, and then they'd drink a Zima and they'd be refreshed, and then they'd get unstuck. It really doesn't have a large flavor profile. It's like supposed to be like a long drink-esque is my guess, like citrusy.
I would guess,
but it's just kind of. And it also says on the made to mix. Okay, so Zach's already done. So there's that. And the bottle is very much in Japanese, so I can't tell you
what it says,
where it was supposed to be brewed, what it's supposed to be flavored as.
Is it brewed?
No, it's got to be a malt beverage would be my guess.
but yeah, we can't tell anything from this.
Yeah, I'm not going to do, No,
I thought about saying it.
yeah, don't. No, we're not gonna ruin.
Nope,
we're not gonna
nope,
ruin
nope.
any of that or our pride and reputation.
Well, thanks to Heather's coworker.
Yeah, no, score for actually, like, I mean, it's
Bring it
from
back from
Japan.
Japan
Yeah,
for
no doubt.
us.
Shout out for that. But, like, it's really just kind of.
I don't know. It was. It just has like a little it's like a Sprite that lost its
It's
flavor.
kind of. It is like a flat Sprite. It's
Like-
kind of
like-
exactly
because
what
you kind
it
of
is.
get the lemon lime, but
Yeah.
there's not a lot of sparkle to it.
But I could I wish I kind of knew what to drink at APV because I could, like, chug this. Like, this was,
There's not a number on there.
I mean, there are numbers, but I don't know which one
is the definitive number.
like.
Which one tells you the ABV?
Like,
Oh, those are grams.
yeah, like I don't see.
let me take a
So that would be a
alcohol
measurement.
percentage on there.
Zach, you ain't going no. Don't act like you go grab this
look,
Japanese bottle and know what the fuck
number.
you reading. Okay.
There's a telephone number.
Excellent.
And
That
there's another number. It's like 9 to 17.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
really
not
sure
it.
What that is.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
You guys ready?
probably low. I'm guessing low. What are we thinking? 5?
I'm thinking
below
4
that,
or 5,
yeah.
maybe.
ABV of Zima in Japan.
All right. Well.
What happens if it has no APV?
4.5.
Hey.
4.5.
Winner.
4.5. Okay, but I mean, it's a flat Sprite. That's a great way of describing it. So for novelty, I'll give it a
You're
nod,
welcome.
but like for actual consumption and enjoyment, I would pass on that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Hundo.
So that was quick. Let's get into this next one.
While you
Next
guys,
one has a can.
while Timon's getting this pour down, you guys drink any new brewskis lately, or have any good food? Anything you want to talk about? Restaurant food?
Man,
beer?
I've been chilling really. I haven't been doing a lot of drinking since it's only Friday. You know, trying not to do
in the week pod.
too much boozing during the week.
Yeah, I did have. We went since I had today off. Grayson played on Thursday. He went 3 for 4, which is fucking
Hell yeah! Shout out Gray.
There we go.
He had a good night. We went to Bully's afterwards, but we went to Bully's 1, and Bully's 1 still has the Fall River Irish Cream Nitro Stout on tap.
Nice.
That's the only beer I drink there. I ain't not fucking drink anything else. So I had 2 big of those, but it's in the morning. If you're doing like the drink all day,
The all day day.
Starting with that breakfast beer on tap, like in the morning, is amazing because it's cold and it's creamy. It's like it's a fabulous.
No, sure,
breakfast
yeah, no,
beer.
I don't disagree with that take. I could see how that would be super enjoyable.
Yeah, I haven't really had anything this week yet. It's been a slow week for me. It's just some wine, but you know.
Oh, dude, I had some wine
Some
last
vino?
week. I like wine.
I every time I revisit wine, I remember that I enjoy it. I just don't really find a lot of like instances to drink it
I mean, it
All
goes
night.
with a lot of food.
all night.
A lot of red meats.
That's
I
true.
just drink it with anything.
Thanks, Zach. You're being very descriptive. Yeah, when you wake up, when you go to sleep, when you roll over, when you're thirsty, when you're dehydrated.
Dude, when you go to like nap, fuck, what's that town? We went it's not Napa. It's outside of like Douglas. You know, you go
Genoa?
no farther into California. It's like
in Cali.
It's a Amador. Amador's got some nice. Is it Amador? Yeah, that sounds right. They got some nice wineries around there, and it's you like literally go to breakfast and you're like, oh, do you want to get breakfast beer? I'm like, nah, I'm here to drink wine. Seriously, all day, dude. Just give me that red, all day.
I mean, that's the right part of the country. Napa, Sonoma, man. They have that on lock.
World renowned for sure. Like, all right. So here's to an actual beer that we're about to drink by Payback.
This is a great can.
Payback, bro. Yeah, it's what pulled me in. Lucky Bunny with a chainsaw, a hazy IPA. So definitely check peep these out on X and Instagram. They'll be up a little later this evening. They are out of Glendale, California, and
that's really good. I like the mouthfeel up front.
It's mellow on the back end.
It is. It's got a lot of citrus to it, is what I'm picking up on.
Me too.
Yeah, I like that. 7.77, as it were. Lucky.
Lucky. Good job.
So, I mean, yeah, I didn't expect that Zima to last, but I also didn't expect us to do what we did there. So.
We're just plowing through.
Yeah, we're making it work here.
It's Friday.
It is Friday. I mean, TGIF. Solid beer here, though. I also agree with you, Trev, in that it's lighter on the back end, not overly hoppy, especially for something almost 8%.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Payback Brewing in Glendale, California.
It is a badass can, though.
It drew my eye big time.
Where'd you find this one at?
Pinion.
Oh, nice.
So they're just a bottle shop, which I appreciate. Yeah, I love me a good bottle shop.
So, how about some NBA?
Well, the playoffs have started. The play-in.
Thank you. I was going to say we need to correct that vernacular.
The play-ins are ongoing. I know we're going to do our brackets, but do you have any? If whoever wins in each one, you don't think they're beating Cavs or Thunder, right? Like they're not a shot.
I don't have anybody coming out of either of those sides. No.
Because right now it's the Heat are up 101-98 on the Hawks with 2:09 left in the fourth, and the other game tonight is the Dallas versus Memphis, right? Dallas versus Memphis.
Nailed it.
That's the second game.
Yeah, I don't know if any team, either of those, make a rumble against those two teams.
I don't see it either.
So let's start with the West. So you got the the Thunder, the 1 seed, playing the 8 seed, which would be the Magic or the Mavericks or Memphis. Everybody's taking Thunder. I think we're 100% on that call.
Thunder, 100%.
And 4-gamer?
Probably.
I don't know.
Maybe a gentleman's sweep with 5.
I mean,
I don't see.
I don't want to call games, but I would say 5.
Yeah, but not a competitive series.
No, it shouldn't be.
Next one on the bracket is going to be, I think, a competitive series.
I agree.
Nuggets and the Clips. Clips are playing hot. They've been playing hot down the stretch. I hate that I had to write that team down.
Me too.
But I picked them.
Chiefs on the other side, but I just couldn't get there.
I just don't have faith.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I am sold on the Nuggets actually winning this. I just couldn't put Clippers.
I erased it when I came over here and you said, remember you said.
You needed to correct. You were like, and
I had talked myself into the Clippers at that point.
I can understand it.
I just don't have any faith in the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, is he playing? Is he not playing? Jokic, for them to have to win, he's going to have to just go insane Superman style. He could, but I don't know, man. You have
they're just a dead team walking at this point. The way that they've just lost their coach, it's still a mess there, and it's not fixed yet. So I just can't see them going far at all. I took Clippers as well, man. We're on the same page there.
Anything else to add to that matchup, Charlie?
Well, no. I mean, you basically called out what needs to happen for the Nugs because the Clippers are playing good team ball. And Kawhi is the best Kawhi we've seen in some years currently. So if he stays on that path,
then we're in for some good basketball.
Right. I put Nuggets. I did.
I was there with you for a second.
I did.
Next matchup is the Lakers versus the T-Wolves. Obviously, I picked the Lakers.
It's a sweep, 100%.
I think that they're, get into it.
I came very close to writing down the T-Wolves, but I was so bad at my NCAA bracket this year that because I went off of like feels and not what should actually happen. And
so now you're going chalk?
Not chalk, no,
Okay.
but what I think will actually happen, not just like. And unfortunately, I think the Lakers are going to win this series.
Sidebar: Are we doing hat bet for?
Yes. Yeah, because you called for the NCAA.
We're overdue for a hat bet.
We are.
It's been.
Yes, I agree with Trev on that take as well.
I'm gonna make Chuck wear a Lakers hat.
I ain't wearing shit. Because I got the winning bracket in front of me, y'all. I got up on X and Instagram. Wait until we get into the draft talk, man. We're reviewing Kenneth Grant at 52. They're saying he might be a first-round pick.
Who?
Kenneth Grant. Anyway, continue. Sorry, that was way sidebar.
Rockets, Warriors. I know this isn't a sweep. I took the Rockets.
I get that. This is going to be a series, I feel like.
I do too. And
this is going maybe 7.
The reason I took the Rockets is because of the Warriors have had to play like so much down the end of the season, like playoff basketball. And the other night, I know they got a 4-game break. The other night, they looked old. They looked kind of slow.
Memphis is the fastest playing team. That was not a good matchup for them.
And Zach Edey didn't look like they wanted to go anywhere near Zach Edey down low. They didn't like challenge him at all at the rim. I think that you have the Nuggets. The Rockets are a bigger team.
They're a physical team too.
And I think that's the exact opposite of what the Warriors need to play against. So that's the reason that's the only. And I just think that the Warriors are an old team, and I think they played really hard down the end of the season, and I think it's going to catch up.
Hands up, this is just a fandom pick for me. Like, I'm taking the Warriors here because they're my team. They have the experience the Rockets don't. I'm hoping that catches up with them. You got something to add to this?
Warriors.
You took them all the way though.
Don't spoil my bracket, okay? Over there,
it's already spoiled, bro.
Okay.
You did it,
Mr. fucking Laker. All right. Whatever. We both chose a California pony. Warriors. Get the fuck out of here.
Hell yeah.
Let's go, Steph. Make it rain on them hoes.
All right, so let's do the first round of the East. First round
Exactly. That's honestly what carried a lot of Himmy Butler. If he turns on, you're in fucking trouble. Let's go.
Watch out.
East.
Cavs, obviously, everybody picked the Cavs over here.
Yeah, that one's easy.
Next series, I think, is going to be a series.
Yes.
But
agreed.
I still think the Pacers pull it out.
You've been high on them for this season. I will agree with that.
Lillard not playing in the first game at least, and maybe comes back for the second game. I just think the Pacers have just more firepower. They're younger. I think the Pacers are on the kind of another heater too, like not quite the heater that the Clippers are on. But remember when we checked in on them early in the year, they didn't have a good record. They've been on a kind of a heater lately, and I think they just have more firepower than the Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to have to blow it up after this year. I think they're kind of in a Nuggets type situation.
This is a game I flip flopped a little bit on because I agree. And the Pacers were there last year and they were competing. The Bucks weren't. I just feel like now that Lillard's in the playoffs, it's going to be – I want to see that so much with Letter Bro. And, I'm a big fan of his, so I'm just kind of hoping to watch more of them. So I took Bucks.
I took the Bucks as well. I think that this is very much a coin toss series. I'm not saying that the Pacers couldn't absolutely seize Carpe the Diem here. But I think Giannis is a monster. He wants it. I think if Dame even comes in and supplements, there's still Brook Lopez is there for size. Like they have a squad that can still play ball with a championship pedigree. I know that it's Doc Rivers now, right? Milwaukee, isn't he? Yeah. So I don't know if I trust that to go deep, but I can see him getting out of the first round. So.
Yeah, and it didn't look great at the beginning of the year, but those guys like this time of year, I kind of trust that.
It's another 7-game series.
I think it could be.
Could be.
I'm hoping it is.
Next series, Knicks Pistons. I took Knicks. I don't think the Pistons are just ready yet. I think they're they had a great year, but I don't know if they can get past the Knicks. But I do think that Thibodeau gets fired at the end of the year.
Ooh, take. I agree. I just think the Knicks are more prepared for this spot than the Pistons. I think the Pistons can steal maybe 2, make it somewhat of a series because, I mean, I don't think the Knicks are that great.
No, I don't either. I think Thibodeau ran him.
I pretty much mirror your exact opinions here, Travis. And I did write Knicks, but they're not going much further than this series.
They're gonna, and I do think this is like Pistons are gonna give them a run. It might not be a 7.
It should be fun.
But they're getting smoked in the next series. Celtics, Magic. I think everybody wrote down the Celtics. I think for obvious reasons. They're a really good team.
Yeah, I'll be cheering for Pat's Magic, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. I don't even see. I mean, maybe a gentleman's sweep. They're getting smashed.
It probably.
Celts.
Everybody. Sweep.
Everybody.
Easy. Pretty easy.
Second round in the West. So I have Thunder, Clippers. Trev?
Yep, same.
And then you have Thunder.
Thunder, Nugs, and then I took the Thunder to win that matchup.
The Thunder to win that matchup.
So we all got the Thunder.
I just think they're ready to. They're good. They're a really good basketball team. You don't win 68 games and have the biggest point differential since the '72 Lakers, and
they won 50 of them by double digits.
Flat on your face in the playoffs.
They won 60 or they won 50 of their 68 games by double digits.
You got a lot of
That's
dudes.
bonkers.
You got a lot of dudes that like are on that team that can do like you have SGA who's just a stone cold killer, but then you got a lot of other guys that fill a lot of needs on a basketball team. They have really done a really good job building that
team
roster.
Is well built, got a lot of height. Like they should just push.
Ugh.
So,
Sorry, Charlie.
Next round,
Lakers. So I have Lakers Rockets. You guys have
Lakers Warriors.
And I took Lakers.
Warriors.
I think the Lakers beat the Rockets,
We both took
but I
the
don't.
Warriors here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I probably lean the Lakers if it is the Rockets, but if it's the Warriors, I kind of like that matchup.
That's why I don't want to see it.
You got anything to add to that?
No, I want to see Steph beat LeBron again. Let's go.
Again.
Let's go.
I want to have another championship to all the ones I have.
Okay, cool.
All of them. Remember
Yep.
how many we have?
Like 27?
Yeah.
Something like that, 26, 27?
Yeah.
Chuck and I were talking
lot.
about
I'm
this
aware. I can count. Thank
before
you.
you got here, but we were talking that this probably means the most if LeBron gets another ring out of all the players in
the pantheon of
Yes.
legacy.
If he gets it, because that gives him 5.
Well, not only that,
6.
it's the 5. Only
Five.
it'd
He
only
won
be 5.
1 with the Lakers,
That's right.
1 with the Cavs, 2 with the Heat.
There you go. Boom. And
Yeah.
They question. There's a big question mark around the Laker one because it's the bubble chip.
Which I still think is just.
I honestly think it's harder if you think about it. Like, you had to play through a season that nobody had ever done before. You were in an isolated. You were playing like that's ball. That's all you had. There was no distraction. If anything, that's the best ball you're gonna get. But yeah, Warriors still take down the Lakers.
So then the second round in these, I have Cavs Pacers, and you guys have Cavs Bucks.
Correct.
I think Cavs win that.
Yeah.
We all have
Yeah.
that 100%er. The Cavs. I mean, we
Cavs
talked
are good
about this
fucking team, man.
earlier. Like the Cavs and the Celtics are the teams in the East. They're going to be.
It's very top heavy.
We
in
all
the
have
East.
the Celtics matching up with the
Yeah,
Cavs. That's,
correct.
I hope that series is fucking sick, dude. I hope
In
that's
theory,
like
the Eastern Conference Finals should be
mean,
fantastic.
yeah, because the Lakers are going to sweep the Thunder and to go to the championship.
Oh man, I'm hoping that
Man.
Cavs Celtics is 7 though. I hope we get at least.
I feel
6.
Zach is either Zach is wearing a hat or I'm wearing a hat. Like, I feel like our brackets are so
our brackets
different.
are so different.
Yeah.
And last year, remember, it came down to it was close. It was close last year. We all had close numbers.
I called the Celtics winning it though.
right, but you didn't. You just didn't have enough to get back into the. Point differential.
I didn't have to wear. I was the middle guy.
Yeah, you were the middle
I was
guy.
the middle guy.
Okay, I have Thunder Lakers, and I'm taking obviously the Lakers. I mean, it's just more fandom than anything else. Everybody knows how I feel about the Thunder.
I have Thunder Warriors, but this is where I think the Warriors fall short. I'm sticking with my pick at the beginning of the season. I think that it's the Thunder this year, man. Sticking with it. Who you got?
Let's go, Steph.
Let's
Come
go,
on,
Steph. Let's go, Steph.
Come on, Steph. Let's get back to the finals.
Charlie,
Let's
you're
get
back
all the way to the finals,
Charlie's
baby.
bracket might go
I
to
have
shit in
the
the
Warriors.
fucking
I have the
handbag.
Warriors.
I'm cheering
in
for your bracket,
the
Charlie.
finals. In the finals. Yeah. Fuck them all, man.
Fuck 'em
Look,
all.
if you're gonna
Playoff Jimmy, baby.
if you're gonna sweep the team that you've been, kissing butt to all year,
I didn't know that the Lakers are going to get Luka, dude.
That is a
Game
difference
changer.
maker. It is. And look,
And he's been on fire.
and they're not getting out of the second round, and that's okay.
But that team ain't finished. See, you know this. They have a lot of nice pieces, but it's just
We're
not.
finishing this year, brother.
All right.
Yeah, on
Finish
the couch.
Finishing with the trophy.
All right,
Ooh,
back in
man.
the East.
Cavs, Celtics. I have the Cavs. I'm never writing the Celtics
You and me,
in the finals.
we both have the Cavs. This guy's still got the Celtics.
Celtics.
I'm a Donovan Mitchell fan. I'm a Mobley guy.
I like Spider.
been
I do.
popping.
No, I'm not saying. I like the way that team's built. This is where,
another good built
I mean,
team.
the Celtics still have.
and
They're paying the most.
I think I continue
That
on,
team.
and I will let you know why my Celtics take is there.
Okay.
Because who do you guys have in the West? You have the Lakers.
Yeah,
You have the Lakers. We have the Lakers winning it all.
Yeah.
And then you've got
I got
the
OKC
Thunder
winning it all.
and I have the Celtics winning it all. So that's why I had to take them out of the East, because I think that they're going to beat the Warriors and avenge that chip that they did. We talk about a rematch. That'd be a good narrative. I mean, not necessarily as good as the Lakers Celtics, as that's what the NBA wants for sure.
I almost wrote that down, but I couldn't write the
mean-
Celtics in there. It was hard enough writing
But
the
that
Clippers
would be an
past
all
those.
timer, of course, because they're both the most winning programs in the NBA.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and we got the last one that happened was with Kobe against KG and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce. That was what, 09, right? Something like that.
So we're due.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost one and then won one.
That's right, and then they went back and beat
beat
them
them.
in. No, it was 08. It was 08 that the Celtics won, and then 10 when the Lakers won. That's right.
Well, the Lakers
That's right.
beat the Magic the one year, and then beat the Celtics
The following year. Yeah. Nice. All right, so
Gave Kobe 5.
we have three different winners.
Somebody's wearing a hat.
I think, yeah, I got it. We can all count. Rest in peace, Mr. Bean. Like I was not a huge fan of him. I always have a problem. I'm a hater, so I never like greatness being great unless they're wearing, my jersey. And I've never had an all-timer.
Doesn't even have a jersey now. I'm sorry.
I don't.
That was me.
I don't.
That was
I'm trying.
I mean,
I
he has
can
jerseys,
I
he
can
just
go
doesn't
put
have
on
a
my
team.
Peyton jersey, which is, who's he play for? Who are the Oklahoma City Sonics?
Maybe it'll happen again.
You know what? Adam Silver's talked about expansion finally for the first time in a couple of years about it being feasible.
Here's hoping, man.
Here's to hoping, yeah. Here's to drinking Zimas,
Zima's in the morning,
Zimas in the evening. Somebody's wearing a motherfucking hat. I
Yeah,
hope it
that's
ain't me.
That's gonna be good. I like it. I like that
Dude,
we all have.
so I do.
Background.
Yeah, so I guess we've mirrored each other on these brackets before, and this is not one of those times.
I'd like to have a cheers
Okay.
to Lee Corso.
Oh, shout. Yeah, absolutely. He announced this week that he's going to do the opening week will be his last of college game day, which after 38 seasons, dude.
That's what we grew
Cheers
up watching.
to that.
We grew up watching Lee Corso and stuff, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's an integral part of game day. Not so fast, my friend. I mean, I love it. I
Yeah,
love
not
it.
so fast, my friend. Then you put on the hat or the the
Mascot head.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, he's been doing it. And I didn't realize they were also going over his playing days when he was at Florida State. He was a beast on the football field.
Yeah.
Like, at the time he was there, he rewrote the interception record for DBs. Like, stud.
I mean, I might be taking this down.
Sidebar path?
Yeah, but
Sidebar.
do we know who's replacing him on game day?
No, I don't know if they're just gonna just not have anybody and it just
They
stay
already have a panel of like
Yeah.
3 or 4.
True,
Otherwise,
they
that's
don't
true. I
need
don't think
to.
they necessarily need to.
with
There's
McAfee and Herbstreit and Saban, and then
Reese Davis.
Reese
there you go. I
Davis
think that's
and
it. There's
Dez-
the 4.
and Dez.
Oh, and Dez. There you go. That's 5 then. Yeah. So if anything, it was kind of just, it was smart. Corso probably saw the change of direction, saw the McAfee era, was kind of upon us, and he was like, nah, not my speed. Also, he's like in his mid-80s, so dude, you've earned your goddamn retirement. Yeah, like congratulations, dude. Thank you for so many cool Saturday mornings, and always holding out for the team that you're pulling for. You want him to put the mascot on. You hated it when you saw the rival come out, and you're like, no. But yeah, college game day is such a great tradition. So yeah, that's awesome, Corso. Thank you.
Also with college football, we didn't touch on it last week, but Nico Laumeve has basically been a holdout.
Shot himself in the foot.
Didn't want 2.5, so wouldn't want to play, so they released him. So he's now in the transfer portal. He's one of the top prospects. If he has a good year, he could be a first, second round draft pick is what they're saying. I didn't really watch a lot of Tennessee last year, so I'm not really familiar with his game. But, dude, 2.5 to turn down and to go to UCLA where you're going from a Tennessee team that's pretty good to a UCLA team that sucks.
Yeah, you're in the Big Ten. You're going to struggle.
Bottom of the Big Ten. You went from, like, upper middle tier of the SEC to bottom middle of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Not a good exchange.
He had his highlights at Tennessee, but kind of fell off. I mean, he still has potential if he can make UCLA look good.
Correct.
I mean,
he for UCLA this is a win. For him, it's not, right? Like
I think it still is because he's going to get money.
I guess he's still got an opportunity to play. No, okay,
living in
all
LA
right.
is pretty nice. Pasadena.
I won't poo-poo, those nuances, as it were. But like, I would say,
don't have the team.
This is a complete lack of self-awareness, though. Like when. And his team, as it were, because they said that that's terrible representation. That's terrible advice.
To be fair, I mean, how good is Tennessee going to be? They're losing some good players in this year's draft.
Sure, but I promise you their recruiting classes, I bet you that recruiting class is better than UCLA's coming in. Transfer portal is more.
I'm sure it is, but I don't know if it makes a big difference in their record overall. Like between Tennessee and UCLA, I could see those teams having similar records just because of the conferences they play in.
And then I'm asking if we can put Urban Meyer up on the shit list.
Put him up.
He came out and
Never
said,
like that man,
because everybody was basically praising Tennessee. Good job Tennessee, way to stand up, way to stay up. He came out and said Tennessee's screwed. Why would you let a guy like that go? Well, Urban, you're one of the cheater, pumpkin eater persons like from back in the day. So I don't really want to hear your opinion on stuff.
I mean,
he's a slime ball,
his head coaching job at Jacksonville alone, we should have already had him up there for all the antics and bullshit that went on there. It's just bullshit after bullshit.
Like I said,
he just thinks he's the guy.
He does have this air about him that he believes is,
And he's a good coach, but he's a piece of shit.
Meyer.
We're getting it.
And what?
Meyer. Eyer.
Now,
there you go.
I have another nomination.
Mayor.
It probably.
That's it.
I don't know if it's really.
Ooh, we're throwing up another
list.
nom. All right, here we go. Banana.
But I mean, I believe the city of Dallas would say Nico Harrison.
Oh, that's right. We were talking. We need to.
I
I wouldn't put him on my shit list. Well, he can't because he benefited from it. Yeah. Look at that little giggle he's got going on.
But we're talking about possibly the worst trade in history.
But that doesn't necessarily make him a shit
if
list.
If he gets fired, he's never going to get another job in sports.
It remains to be seen how the trade's still technically.
It's early, but I can 100%. Dallas is with me there.
But
there ain't nobody in Dallas that disagrees with that take.
I don't know if I would put him up on the shit list.
I think it's a bad move. I can't put him up on the shit list simply because it's not based around his character. He's strictly trying to still look at it through a professional lens.
But then
it's an idiotic. It's a potential idiotic move. But look at the guys up there. Look at the reason why those guys are up there. It's not because of their in-game professionalism.
I preferenced it with I'm gonna get some pushback. But then we had some of the things that he said since the Luka trade. It's just. he just seems like he's digging a deep hole.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't put him as a full-blown shit lister. I just don't feel like what he has done is
Not as bad as the guys
anywhere near as dumb as some of the shit of these fools up there. Like, dude. Yeah, and James Harden, I think he's a perma, dude. Until he retires,
same with Aaron Rodgers. He might be retiring this year.
There's another fucking little nugget,
dude. I don't. Dude, did you see
think
his interview?
He should, right? He should retire. Why would you go to the Steelers? Why would you go to the Steelers?
I wouldn't go to the Steelers. Like,
why the fuck would you go to the Steelers?
If the Vikings were going to bring me in, that'd be one thing. I'm not going to the Steelers.
Why not though? They still have a chance to compete.
It's like
for what?
For what? They have talent at wide receiver. That offensive line has been young, but it should be a lot better this season.
I just don't see it there. There's
Tomlinson
not enough
gets them to the playoffs every year.
Okay,
if you can
great.
be what you're supposed to be, Aaron Rodgers, just getting there, you have it. You feel like you can have a chance if you're healthy, and if other teams maybe not.
Dude, I just don't buy it. I think he fucking retires. I think he should.
I mean, it seems like he's betting. Like if the Vikings don't give him an offer, it seems like he's kind of looking at it.
I have a Steeler question in my draft questions for you guys when we start the next segment.
That's a little foreshadow for our second segment.
Something just it popped into his head though. He's writing shit down.
Well, I meant to write it down earlier, and then I didn't have my papers with me, and then that totally reminded me. I just think that, I don't know. I don't know if I'd sign with the Steelers. You're going to play with DK Metcalf, who's going to be in your ear. You're going to play with Pickens, who's going to be in your ear, which is another reason that you're drafting a rookie, and they're just both going to ride this fucking rookie's ass. I just don't know if and I have no idea why DK even signed that. That was so stupid. He's such an idiot.
But, I mean, yes, I understand those gripes because those are issues for that team. But Tomlin seemed to make it work when Antonio Brown was there.
Maybe, but I don't think he went off. I don't think he went off the deep end yet.
TJ, we talk about him as one of the best defensive players in the league, and it shows every season he's healthy. That team is fighting on defense, man. Fighting words.
DK signed there because we shipped his ass there because the
Steelers
Steelers gave us the best offer for him, which was a second rounder. And he didn't have a no trade clause. He had no once he had said, "I want to trade." We don't give a damn about your demands, DK. I'm sorry, you're not that kind of dude. You're gonna get shipped where we get the best offer.
Is the only guy with a no trade clause in the NFL Kirk Cousins?
There might be others.
I'm sure there's a couple. It's probably quarterback. That's only
I
got
think
pretty
Dak
much a quarterback
has it too.
exclusive. Yeah, and I think Burrow as well.
They got the fucking shitty ass contract.
Oh yeah, Jerry Jones done put his foot in it on that one for sure, which is why I love that contract. Exactly.
Somebody else might be putting their foot in it pretty soon too.
Oh man, yeah. What are you doing with Mr. Purdy?
55, 56.
Are you still okay?
60.
You offered him 50. You offered him 50. That's hold on.
What the reports were,
Okay.
but there's.
I didn't hear this.
I don't know how reliable those posts I saw were on Twitter.
I saw that too.
The sources were not like the utmost.
He won 55, Charlie.
But yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Okay, let me ask you a question within this question. For a guy who was Mr. Yeah, it's Inception. Who's Mr. Irrelevant, as it were, right?
Yes.
Who has made like $900,000 across the last 3 years or whatever.
Paid nothing, yeah.
Is generational wealth not at 50 for 1 year? Is that not enough? For not signing for the team that has cultivated you, made you the talent that you are, and you're going to squeeze them for another 5? It'd be one thing. I get the argument from 35 to 50 or whatever kind of thing.
When you've outplayed quarterbacks that are making 55, I think that your agent should fight for everything you can get.
I can understand that take. That's a good take. I would also say that all of those quarterbacks that got paid on those other teams have lesser rosters around them. And I would say if you want to continue to win, you should stay flexible within the cap that we can allow to build this team properly.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for, Chuck. I mean, we'll see how it wraps up.
I'm just saying,
There's
brother,
time.
I just like, it's insane to me. Like, I sure pay him 75, pay him 105 a year. I don't care. As the Niners break the bank, reset the record. I really don't care. I got fucking Sammy D under 33.5. So, that's where our plan is for the upcoming year. I just think that from Purdy's perspective, he's still very young. So even if he signs at the $5 million under what he says he wants or whatever, he's, in theory, if he plays well, should get a second bite at the apple. When the cap has gone up, when you can make more money, it's just, to me, it's kind of a headache. But at the same time, if I ever saw 5 M's in my life, I'd stab a man in cold blood or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'd be willing to do for that.
Damn.
I'm just saying, like, it got a little dark right there.
Dude, well, I'm hoping for the same thing. I'm hoping he takes a team-friendly deal because, I think he's been propped up because of the team.
Well, yeah, you got fucking Pro Bowlers and All Pros all over that roster.
But he did deliver. I mean, he hasn't. It's not like he's cost us a game in the playoffs. That
question within a question within a question.
You got another question?
Do you feel like Purdy's worth 55?
I think with the cap going up, it could work.
Okay. That wasn't a definitive yes, but it also wasn't a no.
Yeah, well,
shit.
I want to have that money to spend elsewhere.
Shit. Yeah.
But I was hoping for more growth last season. And
I like him a lot more at 45 than I do 55.
It was a hard hit. It was a hard hit with a lot of the injuries and the way the team went.
I know, and you're getting to pick 11th overall because of it. Boo hoo.
And I don't really like picking 11th, man. We're not in the second segment yet, but I was thinking if there's a year to trade back, this is the year. And I know no one's probably wanting to trade up, but
it's the first year since in the last 16 years or maybe 19 years that every team has a first round pick.
Correct. No, which is why I think it's going to make it so interesting.
I think the value in the second and third is so rich. Like, I wouldn't be opposed. I know this would not be a trade would be made.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to finish these beers. We're going to come back, and we're going to delve into all of these draft questions, conversations, sidebars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about whatever you want to talk
it.
about, but we got to refill these, and maybe we got some more Zima hidden in the back of the fridge or something.
But we got another easy drinker.
We do have Wendy's out there.
Oh, that's true. We got some chicken to smack down. We'll see y'all soon.
Welcome back to Balls and Brews. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, gents.
Boys.
Welcome back. All right.
Doing some easy drinking here.
It is an extremely crushable lager. Nightcap. Tahoe Night Monsters. It's the official beer. Lake Tahoe Ale Works is the brewer. They actually, obviously, are out of Lake Tahoe. They have a local brewery down there off of 4th, right in the brewery district, as it were, by Revision/Lead Dog is where it opened up, by the Alpine over there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So 4.9. This can, the Aqua gets me because I'm a Kraken guy, but it's a fucking pretty legit can. I dig it. Yeah. I like the graphic.
Tahoe minor league hockey. Let's go.
Yeah, shout. Super neat. As far as the lager itself, it's exactly what you would expect.
Crushed dinner now. Look what he's got.
Now he's got the sugars.
Dude, he crushed dinner. Sorry, we got a picture of Grayson. He crushed his whole dinner, and now he's got the chocolate.
The biggest eyes you ever seen.
The chocolate
double
cake.
Hands, full eyeballs. Yeah, dude, ready to go.
Chocolate molten lava cake.
Shout out to Gray. He's dude. Yeah.
Yum.
Chili's is good. I like Chili's.
For what they are, nothing wrong with Chili's. They're for a nice little chain that just makes you a decent burger or whatever, good service. You go there, it's relatively priced, Yep. Like the 3 for me, dude. Come on, that's like $12 for chips, fries, a burger, and a drink.
Yep.
Yeah, hard to argue.
So we're gonna do some draft questions.
Dude, we love some rapid fire. You've been thinking of some questions for us, so Zach's going to lead this this segment. But then we are also going to pull our final mock draft 2.0, or the final of, as the draft is on Thursday.
And it will be what we think the teams are going to do.
This will not be a debate as far as what we want the teams to do, but what we actually think the team is going to do. Yeah.
Sure. So first question. If your team could pick anyone in the draft, who would it be other than Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter? Chuck, I'll start with you.
Anybody?
If you could have anybody in the draft, who would it be? Other than those two.
If you need a minute, I got it.
Give it to Trev.
It's Mason Graham.
For him, I can get that for him.
If he falls at all, trade up to like 7. If he falls that far, I don't want to give up a whole lot because we need all of the draft picks we got this year. But he is the guy. He's the guy I would trade up for. There's not another guy.
Okay, so just to give a legitimate answer, because I don't want to duck the question, I'm actually fortunate that there's really not a guy, like at 18, I'm going to get a good talent for what this draft has to offer, right? Like, and honestly, Eminwari is like, that's the guy I want. That's the guy I want, which is the safety out of South Carolina.
I mean, he's...
and he could be there.
But you don't want, like, if you could get anybody, you don't want, like, Campbell or Mwemba from Missouri. You don't want one of those.
Oh, Membu would be awesome if he fell all the way to 18.
No, I'm just saying if you could have anybody in the draft.
If you could trade up.
I guess
I just have anybody. Just
anybody. Falls, you were able to trade up.
Membu would be awesome.
Like
Will Campbell would be awesome.
Your dream draft pick.
Warren would be fantastic. I still want him. No, Eminwari is like, that's honestly, that's where I'm stuck. Like, that's the dude. No. Well, I mean, maybe. Why not? But you did only say Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. Technically, that plays within the confines of the question. But even still, no, Eminwari is my pick for that. Like, that's my shiny like, I think we can develop him into
the guy.
Yes.
So I've been thinking about this.
Good.
I don't know if I want to be the Falcons and take Shador at 6. I love Jalen Walker. I'm not really in. If Campbell fell, or if Mason Graham fell, that'd be cool to get one of those guys. I really think the best draft pick for this team, and like just a home run if I can't have Hunter or Abdul, is Genty. I really do, and I do think there's a ton of running backs, but I think that he is a home run for the way that we need to play football.
I mean, that's what I see in all the mocks too, because it just makes a lot of sense. He's a blue chipper. It's a position of need. If you have the best or one of the best running backs and tight ends, it at least gives your offense a chance in the West.
Play action with Geno, Chuck can attribute to this. Geno is so good in the play action. It's when Geno isn't playing through the play action and they know that you're throwing. Play action pass, it makes
a little bit of foreshadowing.
Geno has a fairly decent arm. He is knowledgeable enough. He's seen more than enough coverages. You just got to keep him upright. In a clean any quarterback in theory should make a clean pocket work.
Right.
But he can. I've watched it. He had 75% completion when you kept him upright. When he's scrambling, anybody's going to be making bad decisions and whatnot. So it's not to say. So the caveat to that as well for Genty is how much are you going to provide for him in the run blocking? Are you confident enough? And now he's going to break some tackles and he's going to be great, but you can also not be successful. Like Kenneth Walker is a great example of this. He takes more hits in the backfield than he does plus 1 yard in past the line of scrimmage.
Raiders' offensive line is better.
I think we're solidifying the offensive line.
Okay, and I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that the Seahawks offensive line is anything to write home about.
I just think that I've seen the Mwemba pick, coming in at right tackle. I'd understand it. I just think that the Genty is just like what your quarterback needs. And I think he's going to be elite for 4 years, 5 years. I don't know.
But your quarterback couldn't use an elite right tackle for 10 years?
I think Glaze is like, he had a really good year last year. We got him in the third round.
So you have faith in where your tackle position is then?
Correct.
Okay. Because you do not have a running back. Let's be clear about that. Like, Zamir White has not been that dude.
And Genty is different.
Madison came in, was decent, but not great. Okay.
All we have really is Raheem Mostert, we signed him.
Oh, that's right. You gave him a year, but he's 32 or 33, so you got to get younger.
I think Gentry's the home run pick at 6.
I love that Mumbu take for the Seahawks. That would be insane to think that happening. I would say he'd be my number 1 offensive prospect overall. Because I don't know, Abe Lucas is a good tackle as well, but he just hasn't been healthy. And if we could have Charles Cross and Membu as my bookends, that'd be fucking nasty.
Possible sideboard. With your current tackles, would you prefer drafting a tackle and moving one of them inside?
No, technically neither of them have ever played guard. They are both true tackles.
I mean, that may be
They
true.
could also. They've done it. They've done it. Sure. Lucas over Cross, if you're gonna take one of the two.
Is that just? I mean, again, that's kind of hard to say because of his health.
Charles Cross is just more athletic in the open field than Abe Lucas is, and traditionally you need a guard who's a little bit more of an anchor, right? We need to keep the athleticism on the outside as much as possible. Go ahead.
Next question.
Yeah.
Who are you taking, Travis or Abdul?
Ooh. For our teams is the question, or just as talent, just general?
Talent. Yep, and I have a backup question after that when we get done with this one that follows this.
Carter. And I'll explain, but I want you guys to give your answers as well.
I think I slightly lean Carter. I mean, Travis Hunter, of course, is one of a kind if he's able to play both ways. And a lot of people talk about taking him at corner, but I think he's actually a better receiver, in my opinion.
But then there's a thing where so hold on, let's finish this question first.
Answer it for us.
Carter for me too.
Sweep on Carter?
Just a little bit of over Travis. I think that he's going to be explosive. I think that he is the real deal at defensive end. And like he can cover guys too. If you have to bring him in coverage, he's that good.
I've seen some comparisons with like Jalen Walker and Micah Parsons, but I think Jalen Carter looks like a more yoked Micah Parsons, in my opinion.
Abdul Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Question on the back end of this. What would you do with Travis if you drafted Travis?
Well, you just said wide receiver, right, Trev? That's where you would
I'd play him at wide receiver, and then I'd play him at nickel in certain packages.
I would play him. I agree with his take there because I think,
or maybe safety, but probably nickel.
To be a cornerback in the NFL, you have to be a full-time cornerback.
I feel like that too.
I feel like that's a different
way
of life, right?
But college and NFL, I feel like the NFL's more
cornerback is just
matchup.
That's got to be the hardest position to play outside of quarterback. The back, those two have to be it, dude.
I would have said,
or a green dot middle linebacker, because sounds pretty hard too. But
it's easier to implement offensive packages. If
exactly, you know where you're going.
No, hold on. It's easier to implement offensive packages.
So you're the other way around
for him than it is to implement just defensive packages for him.
Sure.
So if you're going to play him both ways, I think it's more beneficial. And I think he has to make the decision because you're not going to be able to play full-time both ways. You'll make more money at wide receiver.
Yeah.
But I think it's easier to play both ways, going cornerback and then coming in for packages in the offense instead of trying to come in for packages in the defense. I think coming in for packages in the defense is more difficult and like harder to implement than having.
I don't
offensive
disagree with that.
packages.
Take that. I mean, that's
I agree with that, but like you said, like wide receivers make more money. And when I watch Colorado, their offensive game plan was around him on offense more than it was him on defense.
Yes, I just said. I mean, I would talk to him, but I think it's easier to implement one over the other.
Sure,
because you have to be in.
Which is why I'm arguing for him when you can make the first step versus have to react to the first step.
No, I think he's a hell of a wide receiver, but I don't think you can play wide receiver and then have.
You can't.
and then have packages implemented for you.
Well, you can put him in the nickel. No, it's just.
But you're in the nickel all the time in the NFL.
Okay,
I think
so then
he'd be like a
he can
dime,
sprinkle as your. Okay,
maybe a
perfect.
dime corner. But then is that like what he wants? He said earlier.
I want to play both ways.
Otherwise, he won't. Otherwise, he won't play.
I mean, that's a lot.
He's going to just straight hold out. He's just going to ruin his career.
But
That's
we
what he
haven't
said.
seen a player like him either.
I don't know if I believe that. You can say that until push has got to come to shove.
Next question: if you can make a trade, up or down in the draft, which way would you go?
This kind of piggybacks on what I ended with
Yeah.
on the last segment. And I was saying, like, for example, a team like Seattle, who has multiple second and third round picks,
We do.
even though it would not be value-wise as far as the Jimmy Johnson, like, trade chart, like, I would not be opposed to my team giving up their first-round pick for 2 seconds and a third this year because of how I feel this draft is so rich in those rounds.
They are. Charlie?
I actually am very thankful for where we sit in this draft overall, given what we need, what's on in theory should be on the board when we're picking. We have a lot of flexibility, which is awesome. Trading up doesn't seem feasible or necessary.
There's not that guy for you. You
Nah,
think that's going to fall?
Enough for us to want to use equity to go up and get him. We're going to get a talented dude at 18.
There's no, like, you don't feel the need to, like, trade up for the Arizona wide receiver to replace DK?
No. I don't think. I think that there's more than enough wide receiver depth, second, third round.
Second,
where we're
third
picking.
round.
That's what I'm saying. We have 4 picks in both of those rounds.
I did
two in each.
I did a mock draft for each of your guys' teams too. I forgot to tell you about.
I love that.
Well,
love
hey.
that.
Just side note.
Okay.
I want to. If my dream scenario, if I was said GM.
Hold on, can I?
Sorry.
Real quick, I wouldn't be opposed to trading back though.
I think everybody wants to. This
Right,
draft.
and I don't think that exactly, which is why I don't
wants to
think.
trade
But
up?
like, I don't think we also need to. I really just want to stick and pick at 18. I think that that's our best strategy. We need a first round talent. We need some help. We do, but I don't think there's a reason to swing up, and nobody's going to help us swing down.
Yeah, I actually don't think there's a big difference in talent between 11 and 18.
It's what a lot of people are saying, that there's going to be a similar run on like guys right there that you're not going to have to swing for. So that's kind of happy. I'm happy to hear that.
I'm hoping to get maybe trade down to 9.
Oh,
with
just a
the,
couple spots,
Saints.
huh?
Well,
What do you think is going to
11.
create that squeeze, though? What do you think is going to create that squeeze? You got to have. I know you're 3 layers deep, so tell me how you get to this trade.
You would hope that Shadur Sanders is there.
Goes past 3,
Well,
right?
Yeah, gets past, and they
Right.
took the Raiders, and you don't want the Jets to take him, and you trade up or like something like that.
You have to sell the smoke screen of the
Right.
Jets is basically what it is.
Or
That makes sense.
Or if Mason Graham does follow the Raiders, and the Raiders do trade with the Niners at like 11, I think. And the
You
reason,
be okay with that? You be okay with going back 5 spots?
well, the reason being, then I think you could take the Will Johnson or the Barron at those spots and have more.
One of the two would be there
And
for
have-
sure.
Might still have a swing at Genty. Who knows?
I know. Bears take him.
You think so? Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. With
If
the
they don't have to
new
move
coach
off of
that they
10,
have.
if they don't have to move off of 10, that would probably be a safe bet.
But
True.
it just then the taking Will Johnson at 6. It's not just take Genty at 6. Taking Will Johnson at 11 or Barron 11 is a much more, and then getting another probably a second round pick. It's such a much better like deal for us, and then we get our corner for the rest of what for years to come. You get the corner for years to come and get another draft pick, which we can use. We can use those players. There is, like you said, there's depth. Getting a next or second round pick for us would be
Huge.
awesome.
And
Since we traded our third to Charlie for Gino.
That kind of leads me to a question I have for you as well. Is talking about blue chip players in this draft. We know
I think
Travis
there's only
Hunter.
4.
There's Abdul Carter. There's Mason Graham. Who's the 4th?
Genty would be my
Genty's the 4th.
And then after that, I would say that you probably look at like Will Campbell is 5. McMillan has dropped
Campbell
way
with
down
those
my
short
board.
Maybe.
Maybe I
He's
actually
gonna be playing
I actually
guard,
have
I
I actually have Jalen Walker probably at my 5. I love Jalen Walker, you guys. I can't help it. If the Raiders took him at 6, I'd be so fucking stoked. Gives you that maybe that middle linebacker and that edge presence. I would be in love with that pick.
Okay, I got a big argument with you right there, though. Like,
You think it's too high?
I think it's a lot of projection. Like, I like Jahad Campbell, and I like even the UCLA linebacker, Schlesinger.
Carson Schlesinger, I think.
I like both of those better at linebacker.
Yeah, Walker would be probably more your edge guy.
He looks like
And that's
it.
why he gets. But look how much damage he did in those last games. He was on fire.
He played very well in the biggest games, but I think
Which is why I take Carter over Hunter to begin with, to go all the way back to that question, is because I think that the edge rusher in that situation, when it is like supreme, when you're like, dude, you can win chips that way. You can.
So talking edge rusher, and I'm jumping this question up.
Whoa, wait. I'm sorry. I just want to rewind.
Yeah,
Was there another, like, is there other guys that you think could be blue chippers? Because, like, I see guys like Will Johnson and Simmons, but they have injury issues.
Yep, they've both fallen out.
Is there somebody else?
McMillan's out. I love Walker. Mikael Williams, Georgia. He doesn't make it because there's so much if about him.
No, that's it. We've named the thoroughbreds.
The other way though, like I think Campbell could be.
I think he's going to be elite.
I think Will the value on the position. I think the value on the position.
I think Will Campbell's going to be elite too.
Running back, but
I think Will Campbell's going to be elite for LSU.
Jack Campbell came out, got drafted way high by the Lions, and has balled.
I think
and still doesn't get a lot
better
of love.
than any linebacker that we've seen in any recent drafts.
I don't disagree with
him.
That. I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, like,
he's good.
It's always the debate of positional value versus talent or projection.
Well, and also, so TJ Watt had a post the other day where he's kind of doing a peace sign. What is TJ Watt worth in the draft?
If the Steelers are going to move off of TJ,
how high could you?
I'd trade my number 11 for him.
Would you think they
right
go,
now?
You think they go 4 to the Patriots?
I mean,
is that too high of a draft pick?
Okay, since we're there, Patriots and a lot of mocks. I see them taking the
Will
LSU
Campbell.
tackle, Will Campbell. I just think that's. I feel like that's a reach with a tackle that has short arms
for a guy who can't
that high.
I think that he's going to. Well, I think they also said that Rashawn Slater's arms are going to be short, and he's elite. I think that Will Campbell, Tape White, is going to be.
3 starting years in the SEC at a high level.
The
tape has to overcome an inch of arm length. Okay,
I think he's going to be just.
There are
guys in
league
fucking
that
wheelchairs
have arms,
that fucking do tough mutters. Okay,
yes, and they're good tackles, but they're not like the best tackles.
I think he's going to be good.
I think he'll be just fine,
unless they go Memba there. I mean, Membu, yeah, he's got a long reach. I don't know. I think that's their biggest need, though. Which leads me into. So, do we all talk about the TJ Watt one?
Oh yeah, no.
What do you think? How high are you?
I think he's a first for sure.
How high first? Because there's a difference.
Well, that depends. It depends on the team. It just depends on the team. Like, I don't think
Patriots team a 5. If you were the number 5 pick overall,
I give up the 4 for him.
You'd give up a 4 for him.
Yeah, I think this year's draft,
after
Campbell and Hunter. Yeah.
In this specific year's draft, absolutely. To get TJ Watt, the defensive player of the year, yeah.
Steelers get the 4 pick, they could take Shador.
Yeah. Well, no, and they also, in theory, wouldn't give up their 21st.
Nope,
no, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean.
I thought it was a fun question. What is your biggest position need in this draft where you think that you could take, like,
several people and see what works?
Well, kind of, yeah.
We're lucky in that sense that we have enough picks to do that.
Yeah, so like, I only have, I think,
you have
7
like
or 8.
7.
So I'm not necessarily going to be able to pull 2 people, but what's your biggest position need, Charlie? You start that off.
Oh, dude, it's without a doubt interior lineman. And luckily, this draft is kind of rich right where we're picking at 18. My shiny object is the safety, but if Booker is there, if Zabel is there, if there's these interior guys that can make a difference, I'm okay with taking even Banks. If he's there at 18,
Yeah, that'd be a good
invest in the
I think
trenches, swing somebody inside, and
could even move him
protect
inside.
fucking Darnold. We
Yeah.
need it. It was clear as day. Upright, good. Rushed, bad. You know what I mean? And Gino was still the most sacked quarterback last year. So, yeah, interior lineman is bar none my answer.
I have a question for you, Chuck.
Oh, a question within a question.
Well,
Let's go.
but just because you're talking about your pick. Some mock drafts have you guys taken Mbuka. How do you feel about going wide receiver in the first round?
Hate
Okay.
it.
I didn't
Sorry.
I didn't like it.
Sorry. I mean, I don't try to use the word hate. That's why I apologize. Strongly dislike. Least position that I want in the first round.
I agree
out
with
of
that
where I've
take.
seen mocked. Out of what I've seen mocked. I would literally go linebacker before I would go wide receiver with Jahad Campbell if he's there. You take that man instead of Golden or Mbuka or Burden or any of that.
I think the value is there for my team to even take him at 11. I don't think they will.
But I'm just saying, no, wide receiver. No, we've spoken to this several weeks on this pod. Is that wide receivers and running backs are thick through 2, 3, 4, 5
Yeah.
in this draft. Don't take the number one.
Jaden Higgins, Ohio State.
Especially because here's the thing. My coach is a defensive guy, right? So hopefully, if he's
I do
I don't
taking
get a little bit more out of defense.
I had actually talking about Swedenger. I think I had Charlie taking Carson Swedenger in the second round.
I'm totally good with that.
I like
that
him
would
in
be
the second
great
if he's still there
Oh my
for
god,
my team.
absolutely.
Where did you take
to pair with Ernest Jones and Tyrese Knight, I would
like
love
that
that.
I'll have to show you guys
I
my
would
mock
love
draft.
that.
Trev,
yeah.
Trev, your biggest position in need,
It's the defensive line.
or
Like,
the positions.
There's a good.
we
There's
need
a
a lot, but
need
D
some
tackle and
corners.
end, like, there's a chance we draft 4 or 5 on the defensive line.
You did sign Trey Brown. I think he's going to be good for you. I liked watching Trey Brown.
Still,
in the
but
Seahawks
health
uniform.
is an issue, and we don't
True.
really have a third corner, so that's going to be a high pick.
No, I
think
agree.
we're taking either 1 or 2 in the first or second round. We're going to grab.
I actually had you taking Jalen Walker first pick, and I think I had you taking Amos and the second pick for corner.
I like Amos, but
I know.
Jalen Walker, I'm out on him. I think he's a second round guy, in my opinion.
Oh, I love him.
Wow.
My biggest position in need, I think, is offensive playmakers. I know that's not like
I was going to say it's
multiples,
not very
but
descriptive.
running back, we need a running back or wide receiver. We do need one of kind of everything.
You got a
That's-
tight
we-
end, that's for sure.
We need a receiver. My hope would be you would
Draft
go running-
Warren at 6.
Well, no, I
Pair him with Bowers.
I already got Myers too.
Trade me some Bowers,
I would-
or trade me some.
I would love to go if you went Genty 1, and then you went some type of cornerback 2, you went some type of like wide receiver 3, and then you went quarterback 4. I think that's like the perfect like.
I think those top 3 make a lot of sense for the Raiders.
And I
Which
think-
is
Or
exactly
if the guy's there, yes.
the guy's
which
there.
is exactly why they'll draft linebacker, safety, and then fullback.
Just
Placeholder.
Just
Are
hire
you
me.
gonna
Kicker-
talk that way
kicker-
about Pete Carroll?
Kicker punter.
Just hire me.
Kicker punter.
What team you guys think is gonna fuck this draft up?
Oh Jesus!
In a
dude.
good way or bad way?
that was a bad way question for
Okay,
sure.
I just wanted to clarify.
The Browns, because the Browns never draft good. They got Myles Garrett right
But I feel like they can't miss
and
that high.
Denzel Ward. To be fair,
Well, dude, they can't. If they can't miss with Hunter or Duel, and then the second round they're taking a quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm guaranteeing that.
what if
I
they take
guarantee-
Shador at 2?
That'd be. I don't know why you wouldn't, dude. I
It's
like
not
Shador.
a horrible pick either way.
I like
though.
Shador. I think he
Between
should be
those
drafted
3
at 2.
guys.
I think he should be drafted 2.
You
You,
don't
need
think-
a quarterback,
And you don't
should
think
be
that would fuck their draft up with
Not
with Carter
not
and
if he's
Hunter
the
sitting there
quarterback.
because Cam
Not
Ward
if
is
he's
there.
the guy.
That's true.
because
That's
you're
true.
gonna
that
hope
that
because
circumvents everything.
to hope
it does.
to hope that you're taking one at the 35th pick or
Right,
32nd.
right.
Whether
The hit
it's
rate
what-
on a second round,
well,
second
not just
overall
that, but,
versus the
like, what happens
35th.
if somebody jumps you and takes Shuck at the end of the first round? Like if you're like, okay,
You can have
Jackson's
that
going-
74-year-old rookie, dude. It's fine.
But,
Like-
but he's starting. But he's starting for the Browns.
he fucking better be.
Well,
He's already geriatric, dude. Guy's got
He's
Medicare.
26.
Yeah, he's got, dude. He's got 3 fucking RIA, or fucking 401k is already in his name.
Or Milrow, or any of those guys. You're taking a shot that somebody else
That's
doesn't
the
do
shiny prospect. That's the other one, Zach. If I can I'm gonna hijack
it.
If we drafted Milrow in one of those 50 or 52 spots, I'm not angry at that.
Yeah,
I'm not angry at that.
I'm all about.
His upside is so big. Could we develop him? I don't know. And we definitely give Darnold the year this year, right? Like,
so say my plan went awry, and you went 2 players, and then Milrow was there in the 3rd round, and you pulled the trigger.
Why wouldn't you throw the dart on that?
That's what I'm saying.
Gino would understand that too, I would imagine.
Right.
Like,
I'm looking Kyle McCord. I'm looking, but Milrow.
Because by drafting a 3rd round quarterback, you tell your starter you're not necessarily, afraid for your job.
I think you try to nail the first 2 rounds like you did this year, like with the Bowers and Jackson Powers, or
Johnson Powers. You're close.
So close.
You're close. Powers Johnson Powers. That's a good one too. Oh shit.
But I think you nail another 1st and 2nd rounder this year.
Well, that's what everybody hopes for.
But we have and then our 3rd rounder was good last year. We actually had like a good draft last year.
Do you have any more questions, or
yes,
we launched into our mock? One last.
Just to touch on that, because I didn't answer that last one.
Oh, go for it. Sorry,
like teams that could fuck this up.
Oh, that's very true. Yes, I said the Browns.
Didn't either.
I said the Browns.
I think the Steelers are gonna fuck it up.
Steelers. Ooh. I mean, I'm kind of looking at the Panthers just because I don't trust the Panthers.
That's a great take, and I've seen so many different mocks for them as far as
Jalen Walker.
What they're aiming for and what they're going to.
Jalen Walker or Tetro McMillan are the 2 that I usually.
McMillan.
Tetro. Tetro.
Yeah, you got it.
Sure.
It's Tetaroa.
Yeah. Tetro. Yeah. I think the Steelers are gonna fuck it up. I think they're gonna
fuck it up, Dan. They're pretty. I don't know. They did choose Kenny Pickett at number 20 overall a couple years ago. So
Did you answer? Did you sing with the pants?
He said Panthers. Yeah.
I mean, maybe Jacksonville would be the other team that I consider.
I feel like the draft's going to fall into their lap.
I
feel like it should go the other way around.
It should, but if they take a swing like at Jalen Walker at 5, I'm just like, no.
No, that's true, because they took Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, they're taking
over
Mason Graham
Hutchinson.
or one of the linemen. They might take Warren. That'd be a nice pick at 5.
Well, because
I think that's too high for him, though.
He's the best pass catcher in the fucking draft.
I mean, that's true, and that would be a big help for
pass catcher over
Lawrence.
Hunter.
Yeah,
it's hard to count him. I know. It's like Hunter and then everybody else.
Yes. Yeah. Last question. Who's your favorite player, Trev? In like the upper rounds, and do you have a favorite player like in the lower rounds? You kind of been nerding out on, and then one of each, and then Charlie. I don't know if you've been checking low round players. But
I have.
What's one of your favorite players in the upper rounds, and one of your favorite players?
Okay, you ready for this one that I landed on, and that would fit our scheme? Fit the Pete Carroll scheme. I'm not exactly sure. Nick Nash out of San Jose State, dude, is a slot dude who can move the rock. Great hands, squirty little dude, a la some Tyler Lockett. Yeah, dude, he can get at it, and he had like 1,600 yards this year. I think lower. I've been looking at him in the later rounds for that WR depth. That's why I don't want to take Golden or.
No, there's a lot of dudes, dude. You guys taking Eric Adamore, the kid out of Stanford. Yeah. I think he's a stud.
There's a couple of guys right around 3, 4, even 5, depending on how it falls. That could be.
Yeah, you got either the Utah State kid, Jalen Royals. There's some dudes in that 2nd, 3rd round, man, that are going to be good wide receivers.
I agree with that. And so at the top of the draft, man.
Is it Nick Emaware?
Well, it's still my shining. He's like my gold star that is actually capable of. Honestly, it's Genty in this draft overall as far as like the human that I'm enamored with that I really think is going to pop. Like, and if he does go to the Raiders, like that's a situation where Pete Carroll loves his running backs, dude. That would serve him well.
So another pick that I know we're not like on this, but I keep wondering, do the Patriots take Genty at 4? For the simple fact that Vrabel was
that many holes though.
I know, but when Vrabel was good.
Not that you guys don't either, but
when Vrabel was good
at Henry, man.
In Tennessee, sure. AJ
It's just one of
Brown
those
and
questions.
Derrick
It's one of
Henry.
those questions.
I mean, I think the value is
It-
actually
it-
there.
It would. I wouldn't say
In
he
this
overdraft-
draft?
I wouldn't say he was overdrafted if they took him at 4.
No, I wouldn't disagree.
Then you would be definitely looking at taking
he's
the best tackle.
number 3 on the board, right?
He's my 4. I have Mason Graham.
They
at
would
3.
have to go offensive lineman with that
well,
second.
still
You'd
then
have to have
pulling 4 at 4. Then you're still saying that's an even bet.
Yeah, you're
But
still
I
in
still
the
like how that draft looks if they did that.
You could, yeah. There could be somebody that falls.
I don't see the New England Patriots doing that though. Okay.
Jeff.
So
I mean, early pick.
Oh wait, go, did you?
well, no. We gotta introduce the segment. We're about to launch into.
No, Trev-
I
Trev's-
haven't picked my high.
Oh my God!
pick
I'm
and
so
late
sorry. You're
pick.
so right.
And we still
Sorry-
have to hear
sorry,
from
Zach.
Zach, too.
Yeah.
Save you guys.
We got your pick.
That's right. That's all that matters.
Me and Chuck agreed that Genty's like one of my favorite players in the top of the draft. I'm so enamored with the way
He's a
he
stud.
plays a
He's
game
a
of
stud.
football.
Go, Trev. I'm so sorry.
And I'll give you my low round pick.
Yeah, we
next.
need to hear from the draft experts.
All right, my high round pick. It's Jahad Campbell, dude. I think
You've been gushing about him on this pod for sure.
I mean, I really believe he's one of the better linebackers to come out of the draft in many years. Probably since Micah, really. I think he's a closer resemblance to Micah than Jalen Walker.
I don't think so.
I see. You're gonna like this comparison. I see
think
more
he's
P. Willie in him than I do.
I was gonna say I see
Micah.
more Fred Warner and Jahad Campbell.
I see more P. Willie in him,
Mike-
dude.
than I see
a
Campbell
more.
has-
traditional niner corner
mean-
or linebacker.
I like that. I think he's that leader, but I think he has better pass rush skills than either of those guys.
Okay.
And then for a later round pick, I'm leaning towards, for my team,
Right.
a defensive tackle, CJ West. I liked what he showed. He seems to be like a 3-down player. He has enough to be in there for all 3 downs. More of the run stopper, like gap penetrator kind of guy, but he still has an upside as far as the pass rush goes. Like a later round D tackle, I think he's a win if you hit him.
So my first, obviously top was Genty. I'm enamored with Genty. I love Walker too.
And you have, in theory, a solid chance of getting him.
And I'm enamored with Walker too. I love watching him in those last games. I thought he just dominated
He did.
everybody on the field and from both positions. So that's because I also had Khalil Mack at one point, who was all pro at 2 different positions that year because he could line up on the line and come off the
Insane.
line.
We've never
Micah
seen
Parsons.
that. We've never seen that since. Well, he's the closest. He's never done it, but he's the closest to doing it, as it were.
So that is those 2 guys are my up top. I have 2 guys in the lower rounds. I love the fact or the enamoring with Darian Porter, cornerback from Iowa State. He's 6'4", 200 pounds, but runs a 4.3 40. That enamors the fuck out of me. That size at that position, does he go safety? Is he that speed and that height is just it blows me away.
Yeah, did you listen to Sims talk about him?
I have been missing my Sims podcast.
He was really high on him and Maxwell Harrison.
Maxwell Harrison's a stud.
Both
that
of
kid
those
is
guys,
flies.
both of their are projected second, third round, but both of those guys look like hits.
Maxwell Harrison's going in the first
Grand
round.
I've seen him mocked to Seattle.
He's going to I think he's going to the Vikings, like somewhere like in that area.
That's like 21, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
that's out of the
That's
question.
legit.
He's my third. Maxwell Harrison's my third corner. And then the second guy I'm just enamored with is Bashul Tootin, running back from Virginia Tech.
VT.
5'9", 206, but he runs a 4.3, 240.
He destroyed the combine.
He fits the Niners running back profile.
I'm so enamored with that speed.
He was
And
top 90 some odd percentile in every metric this year.
The only
and he's 206 too. It's not like he's
he's
under
a
200.
thick boy. He's
Yeah.
a thick boy.
well, his balance is really great. The only
Trev.
fallback for him is why he's not drafted higher is because of the fumbling issues.
Yeah, well, yeah. It is because he
You
is
clean
electric.
that up, and he is.
Because RJ Harvey is another one that's kind of
Yeah.
there are so many running backs. I could go on and on about running backs.
It's that kind of
Let's jump into what we're going to do. Is basically this is kind of our final mock draft, unless somebody gets a hinkering for changing it
I think we're gonna ride it out, dude. It's Friday. Like the draft is less than a week away.
You
This
get
is
your
it.
app up. We're all doing it.
We're just gonna rock. We'll just rock it off of here, right? You want?
No,
I guess we got.
We all
go
have
for
to.
it.
No, we all have to go.
We all have to go. We're all going.
We're all going.
We're all going.
We're all picking.
I've been here.
Select all.
What are you using? Are we going to
Oh,
use
we're
3
gonna
different?
do-
No,
we're
no,
gonna do
we're gonna do
PFN.
the PFN.
Yeah.
So I clicked on the other one for some
No,
reason.
yeah.
7 or 1 round,
One
all
round.
teams.
Yeah, all teams. Enter solo draft. Let's
Okay,
go.
hold on 1 second. All teams, enter solo draft. I'm in. So Tennessee Titans on the clock. I think it's easy peasy. Got to go Cam Ward here, right, boys?
Oh, absolutely.
It seems like that's the pick.
Number 2, Cleveland Browns.
Well, hold on. Let's not just scrub over Cam Ward here. Like I think that we should highlight the idea that this first overall pick, he is the position of need, but he is a quality prospect. Like I know that we talked about Carter and Hunter obviously being like the chippers. This guy can still come in and fucking make a difference. for
He
your
would have
program.
been the quarterback behind every other quarterback last year in the first round.
He would have
I
been in
don't know
front
about
of
that.
Nix. I think he would have been in front of
I
Nix.
don't
think,
know. I like
think he's
Nix
probably
more.
the 3rd quarterback, actually, after Williams and
Daniels.
I
still
think
have
he would be
Drake.
the 3rd guy.
I still have Drake in front of him, and I still put
And Penix and Nix.
I might put all of them in front of him.
You did. You just did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Cam's going to do. I think it's going to be about if Brian Callahan can scheme it up right and protect him and just not let it, because he's going to get into spots where he's going to not take care of the ball. You got to protect him from his own self. I think, but you got to. It's all on Brian Callahan
I think
now.
what you have to coach him up to
Correct.
is basically like,
You
hey, this is not NCAA. Okay,
Correct.
like you don't get to just stand back there anymore. Okay, like there's a lot you got to know what the fuck is going on at all times. But he's athletic enough and he's seen enough football.
Yes.
If you can hone him in, I think he's the clear quarterback. Number 2.
Cleveland Browns. Who you guys thinking he's going?
Well, I mean, it's the obvious debate between Carter and Hunter. And what do they value more, the pass rusher on the opposite side of Garrett or Travis Hunter, which could be your wide receiver to help out the offense and defensive back to help out the defense?
All mocks have pointed me in the direction of Hunter.
That they're like enamored with him.
Yeah.
I'm going to Hunter too because this is not what we think.
It's what we think they're going to do,
it's
and
what we think
I
they're-
think the Browns are going to take
agree.
Hunter.
I
That's
agree.
what I've seen. I think there's too much smoke to not there not to be a fire. They're not. If they're going to take Carter, they would have just said we're going to take Carter. We're number 2. Like Cam Ward, did you see? It's funny. Speaking of sidebar within the mock, did you see his Twitter posts about who he thinks the best running backs in the league are? He said Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears, and then he was like, I think Callahan is the best head coach, and like he basically just came out and said this is my team.
I'm playing for the motherfucking
Yeah, I'm coming for the
Titans.
Titans, and I love that. That's great. That's exactly
rep
what
the
he
team,
should do.
bro.
Yeah.
Team on. You're the only one that hasn't made a decision.
Well, no, we have to be.
No,
are we still?
this-
That's why we're separate drafting. Oh, okay. Okay, no, then yeah, no, I'm Hunter for them. I am. I'm decided.
Check it off.
I'm out of beer.
I know. I've been kind
Me
of
too.
It's good. I'm
I'm
proud of
thirsty.
you. I know. We just don't have any more left in the fridge.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Is there
We have a
alcohol?
non-alcoholic nitro stout.
Is there alcohol?
Yeah, I have that poutine shit, that clear fucking Irish
am
liquor.
drinking that.
All right.
Trev, who you
and
taking?
tequila
Oh, that was so bad.
and cinnamon shots.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, I got nothing good. That's why I said I got nothing, because I'm not bringing none of that on the pod.
Fuck. I guess I'm going Hunter. Man, that's
No, what do you think the Browns are going to do? It's not your choice. What do you think the Browns are going to do?
it's a fucking tough choice, bro.
I'm in a pickle.
I think they probably lean Hunter because they need that help on the offense. Like I think Carter is deserving of this pick, but I will go Hunters too. What the hell?
All right, for the Giants, I'm picking. I think they're going to do a Carter.
Yep.
If he falls right there,
Yeah, there's no question.
the way this draft has worked
Your
out,
defensive line is now crazy good.
best
insane.
in the NFC East.
Depending on
Yes.
how it plays, it might be the best.
Yes.
Like if Thibodeau,
True.
Burns, Dexter Lawrence in the middle, and then
That is
Carter.
fucking
That's nasty
nasty.
as fuck. Yeah, like that's next level nasty, dude. You just got potentially the number 1 dude on the board at number 3 to pair with beasts that you already have. Like, why not stack? Like the argument, oh, they already have those guys. Yeah, but that's how you can win chips. If you have a fresh pass rusher on every down,
And yeah, you need a quarterback, but if one of those guys if it's him or Hunter on the board, I think that's just a smarter play to grab one of them.
100%. A Hunter next to Neighbors. Picking at number 4 is the New England Patriots. I'm going Will Campbell. I think that they are going to go. They're going to go their biggest need to protect their quarterback.
the mocks lend me to believe that. The only other person that would make sense would be Membu right here at the top of this draft. And given that I've seen Campbell, you know, I hate to just say I'm going to believe the pundits, but, like, I think if it goes chalk, this is how it pretty much goes. Like, I'm with Campbell on this pick, too.
I'm not.
All right.
I'm not.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
I'm trying to decide between Mason Graham and Aston Ginty because I think those are the blue chippers on the board, and the Patriots is going to pick one of them.
I love that because last year when the Patriots took Drake May, you had Drake May going 30th.
I did. I was way wrong.
So
Way wrong. That was my big burn.
go for it.
And I could be wrong again, but
We could be.
Man, I don't think they need as much on the defensive line, but Mason Graham, man, like I feel like he's the best player on the board. I'm gonna take him.
That's okay.
Picking at what are we at now?
Jaguars, number 5.
I think it's home run city with Mason Graham still on the board. You need interior line.
Our
You need
boards fall the same way.
You need interior line. That's a home run for them. There's no you're getting top 3 player at number 5.
Our boards fall the same way.
You got to start this. You got to start somewhere.
Trev, so this is where you swerve.
All right. So with Mason Graham off the board in my draft, I think the Jags go Membu right
I like
here.
that take. They need offensive line help. And Campbell's off the board. Well, no, Campbell's
for
off
me.
my board. Oh, that's true. Oh, you go Membu
Membu is
over
my first
Campbell.
tackle
All
off the board for my draft.
No, I don't dislike that take.
Cheers.
Well, wait, hold on. What happened here? How did we refill?
Hey, it's magic.
Ba-na-na.
Magic.
Oh man, you gotta check out the Discord. Pat posted the Magic theme song
tasty.
from back in the 80s.
Fuck, that's good, dude.
This is delicious though.
Ace Mango, baby.
Home run.
Not
Yeah.
in the picture, but this is a winner.
Everything they do has been delicious.
Yeah, legit.
I bought a 12-pack for the draft, and then we got thirsty. So
sorry.
now it's a 9-pack. Now it's a draft 9-pack.
I don't think we'll be hurt.
We'll restock.
I don't think
come
we'll be
Thursday.
hurt for.
I have a feeling people will shell out for the draft. It'll be all right.
With the number 6 pick.
Yeah, let's go Raiders. Let's
Raiders!
go.
It's going to be. I don't think we're going to pull the Falcons and go Shador. I think the cornerback is too high here. The only other person I know Trev's down on him would be either Membu on my board. You don't have Membu on your board, or
Genty?
Well, I'm going to go Genty, but the only other player other than Genty would be Membu and maybe Jalen Walker, depending on how you want to
Consider.
go.
Yeah, okay.
Because you all positions a need. But I think Genty's the pick. I'm going Genty here. Raiders going to have Genty and Bowers back-to-back rookie of the. He didn't win rookie of the year, but Genty's going to win rookie of the year.
Oh, okay. I'm with you. I'm Genty for the Raiders. It just makes a lot of sense.
I love the debate for Membu, but it's not what I would think the Raiders should do. It's what I think the Raiders are going to do.
And DJ Glaze did play good last year.
And I think that Genty is just
Like
there.
I think he's good too.
Yeah, he is good.
Tyler
The guy
Warren would be
is-
another one I'd argue that could be a blue chip. I love Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren can go anywhere from the Jaguars who just picked.
Well, that's why. Okay, so we got the 7th. The Jets.
I'm definitely going Membu here.
Just in the
you,
season.
You just took Alanu Fashino last year as your left. You take your right tackle this year. You need to protect Justin Fields at all costs. I don't really know if going Tetro here is an option. Defensively, do you go Jalen Walker? I really think that Membu, you're solidifying the line for Justin Fields.
You don't consider Shador at this spot?
No, because I don't consider Shador because of the fact I'm trying not to rattle Fields.
Okay.
I'm not saying that just don't take a quarterback. I'm just saying you're not taking one at 2 or at 7.
7, yeah. For the Jets, I'm in agreement with you. I mean, they lost.
He retired.
Yeah, the tackle from the Cowboys.
Yep.
So I'm going Campbell for me because he's still on my board.
Yeah, if it falls that way, that's a win for the Jets. It has to be Membu on my board as well. I've seen a lot of mocks for Warren, and I can understand that because a quick trigger quarterback's best friend is a wide open tight end, 3 to 4 yards under the fucking coverage, right? And Warren is a guy who can break tackles, who can break coverage, who can make shit happen. It would fit for what they're trying to build. But with Membu right there and building that, you know, when the Cowboys were the most recently dominant, when they had 3 All-Pros at offensive line. Yeah.
Dude, that offensive line might have 4 All-Pros.
And the Jets are working towards that, and with the investment right here, because Fields is also super young. So that's right. You don't want to get in his noggin drafting Shador. You could throw a dart somewhere later. You know, there are some prospects that you could bring in. Sure, why not?
But the Jets have plenty to work on.
Yes, and I think that keeping a guy who his biggest knock is reading the field, right? If he can trust exactly, if he can trust the idea that he can have 4 seconds instead of 2.1, double the time, maybe he develops. Membu, for me, the way my board has fallen is overall where I'm gonna go.
Now this next team, I think, is probably the biggest wild card we've run into so far.
Because I have 2 players, maybe 3 players that could go here. My 3 would be Will Johnson, McMillan, and then Walker.
But with the way my board is falling, Walker's right there.
I really think that Walker is the second best edge, even though he can play the 2 positions. Because I think when you're starting to go like Sherman Stewart. That's more like kind of tape and kind of like we don't get to watch tape, but that's more kind of like size and what he could be. I think McMillan's going to fall. I don't love this the not watching tape kind of thing. I think that shows just stupidity. And I don't think Will Johnson's the pick here. I think they have Will Johnson too high. I'm going Jalen Walker.
I agree with Will Johnson being too high. They also just paid J.C. Horn. So, I think that Will Johnson actually isn't going to go anywhere near where this projection is for PFN kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's Jalen Walker is the pick for me. What I think that's what the Panthers will do though. They might take Will Johnson right there.
I would think. And I think that the reason
I want them to take Jalen Walker if it falls the way the board is, but I legitimately think that they will try to swing for. So then it might even be Jahad Barron out of Texas. They might swing for the corner.
And I wouldn't. And the reason I wouldn't take McMillan is because you just took Xavier Legette last year. So you're kind of two of those wide receivers. Unless you're going to try to get Golden at this high, which I think would be too high for him. That would be like more. I think Legette and McMillan are kind of the same wide receiver.
I think I'm going to lock in my pick at Walker because I think if it falls this way, the projection of once again of the value of the position, cornerbacks are high value as well. Don't get me wrong, but I think linebacker edge is of higher value at the 8th overall pick. So I'm going to lock.
Well, and there's
Walker.
not, and I don't think Will Johnson's. I don't know. He's so the injury stuff makes it not elite.
Sure.
At the beginning of the season, if he'd have played all year,
right,
he's a top 5.
Oh, he was up there going into this year, and then Trev.
Also, what I think makes Johnson fall is not running the 40.
I have heard that has been
It's a huge thing.
Yeah,
Dude.
a knock on him.
Prove
It's
that you're healthy.
Your speed, your
Prove
speed's got to
that
go.
you're
Yeah.
coming back.
Right.
I mean, that's just there's that hesitation. He should be the first corner off the board. His first
This
two
is all
seasons,
about some Stingley, some Derek Stingley, but he
he's
did
a
get
stud.
drafted.
but he
dude.
ran his 40. That's the
But
difference.
Stingley's fucking killing it.
He is too, but he got drafted in front of Sauce. Remember?
Yeah, and he might be playing better than Sauce now. Sauce had the Rookie of the Year, but Stingley might have overcome
Okay,
him.
now let's go.
Team
man.
on Panthers.
Yeah, come on now.
So, as a team that I think is going to make a bad draft pick, I'm going to take McMillan.
Okay.
I think they're just trying to better that offense any way they can. He's the best offensive weapon on the board here. Again, I don't trust the Panthers to make a good pick. I think this is the pick.
Next up is the Saints. I'm going Shador here. I think that you need the quarterback. Derek Carr is donezo.
Shoulder gone.
Donezo.
Shoulder written off, and he wrote back.
Yeah, if he didn't have that injury, I think they'd go a different position. I know I stumbled there, but
No, that wasn't
I'm also going Shador.
I think it's a great
That's a
pick,
sweep right here. With the, I just don't think they can afford not to.
too. Yeah.
Unless the only other insanely quarterback hungry team past the ones at the top of the draft would be the Steelers, and they can't swing that high, right? There's no way they're getting a 9 to get the second prospect kind of thing. Because they'd have to swing in front of the Saints. They'd have to go to 8, right?
Yeah.
So, I think the way that it's fallen, Shador is...
I think this next pick's tricky, too.
Agreed.
Yeah.
They could do several things here.
Tyler Warren, give him another offensive weapon. Cole Kmet's kind of at the end of that one deal he signed.
But you're not looking to re-sign him? He hasn't been bad.
A lot. You see it a lot. I think it's interesting. I think Omarion Hampton has a shot to go right here. I really do. They drafted what's his face super early, Gibbs, with the Lions. Everybody didn't think he was going to go even close to that. I think Omarion.
Oh, we didn't. There was a second round. It was not even like an idea that he was going to go first round, and then he went 12th.
I don't know if Banks is worthy of a top 10 pick.
I don't think so.
So it's either between Warren and Omarion Hampton here for me. I know they don't need the tight end. He runs a lot of 2 tight end sets, Ben Johnson.
But he also likes those running backs.
But he likes those running backs.
You're making a convincing argument.
I mean, you just look at Detroit. I'm using Detroit as a model here.
Omarion Hampton here. I think that he's going to take the swing at taking Omarion Hampton, and I don't think Omarion Hampton is that far behind Genty. I would if we traded down into the teens and we took Omarion Hampton, I would be in love with that too. I think he's a fucking 3-down stud. He's going to kill it too in the NFL. So I'm going to Omarion Hampton. I do think that Genty is on the board for them at that position though.
He could be.
Not Genty, but Warren. I think Warren's in play.
I'm actually in agreement. I like Hampton there too. I like a lot of people have him rated further down, but I think he's another possible. He's one of those guys that I think could be a blue chip guy. The injury again is something that held him up, like some of the other players we've talked about.
I think he's gonna be good, dude.
But God, he just because of the coach that they have, it just makes me lean that way.
Yep. Charlie?
I think I disagree with you gentlemen on this take.
Running backs, that's high.
I agreed for the second one overall. I think that they go and hopefully Ben Johnson understands that even though he is an offensive guru, the defense matters a whole lot. And you go and you swing for an edge with a really, really high upside. And I think Mike Green might be the pick right here. I think they bend the corner super, super fast.
I don't hate that.
I think I could be very wrong, but I think that that's a reach for Hampton, as it were, at 10. I understand potential scheme fit.
No, I was going to say.
I'm not saying it's not the worst thing. especially if it fucking pans out. But I'm just saying positional value, having 5 years. This guy has athletics like bleeding out of his, orifices.
He also has off the field issues.
Yeah, well, so did Jalen Carter. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Are we betting another hat bet on this?
On how many we get right?
Yeah, like 1 point for
Sure.
We did the first year we did was how many picks we got right in the first round.
1 point for getting position right, 2 points for getting the player right, or player right like if they trade back, and then 3 points if you get
All
position
to the right,
at
the right person to the right
number,
right,
like
everything.
that.
Okay, yeah,
right.
okay. So we got 2 hat bets.
I like it.
I don't love it. I love it.
So are you picking? Are we all at the Niners?
Yeah, I'm at Mike Green is who I'm taking for the Bears.
Trev, you can start this one.
Man, there's so many different ways they can go.
For sure.
There's like at least 3.
I mean, Calvin Banks, Shamar Stewart, Mike Green,
Barron. Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson.
Would you go Warren? Like how the Raiders went Bowers?
I don't think so. Just because, like, we got Kittle. The most money we spent in free agent was for a backup tight end. And he's different from Warren, for sure. But I just don't see us making that pick.
Would you take Nolan this high?
No. I would not.
Is he your second best tackle? Or is Harmon ahead of him?
I think I like Harmon actually a little bit better. I was high on Nolan coming in, but the more that I've seen on Nolan, like, I think it's a lot closer, and I think both of those are like closer to 20.
I like these updated
picks.
rankings, to be fair. It might have been a while since I've been back on PFN, but the bottom
Yes.
20 actually makes a lot more sense than where they once were.
Yeah.
They did. They
They've
have been updated. That.
these.
They have.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Who
off.
are you going, T-Mud?
All right.
Let's crunch some ice.
I'm crunching the ice, giving me some time to think about this.
Think it over.
I'm thinking about my pick.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Will Johnson.
Oh, dude, that's who I was going to
Johnny
go.
Barron, just because he fell right there?
I think he's a better corner.
I mean, the upside is higher.
I'm
The
listening,
upside
sure.
is higher.
Okay.
I like
There's
Barron.
not a better college player at that position that first 2 seasons.
Correct.
At cornerback.
He's so elite.
If he can just come back from that injury, he is easily the guy. He should have probably been picked higher if it wasn't for those
Correct.
injuries.
Correct. He would have went to the Raiders at 6 if he shells out. I'm going Will Johnson too. I don't know if you guys would go Sherman Stewart or Kelvin Banks. Those would be the only other 2 picks I think about.
Yeah,
I still think Barron's a little
I
high
agree.
at this spot, so I'm Will Johnson too. I think that's a good fit, and I do think that I do wish he would have run the 40 because then I could have justified him at 6.
Yep.
Without run the 40, I can't justify you at 6. That's way
Based
too high.
off of the way that I have done mock drafts later as they go down the rabbit hole, there's D tackles, as it says, your first need all over this draft.
yep.
So
Second, third round,
with
just-
prospects being as heavy as they are, like we've spoken about this. All of our teams love shutdown corners, right? We've all Nnamdi Asomugha was a nasty Raider.
Charles
dude.
Woods.
Yeah, C. Wood was a fucking badass.
How did we
Raider.
end up drafting? How did he fall to where we drafted that year? We drafted because we were
It was
good.
the 20s.
We were in the 20s.
It was in the 20s, yeah. And yeah, because he was a Heisman hopeful.
Well, he won the Heisman.
Yeah.
Hopeful. Fuck.
Well, bro.
Sorry, Seawood. It's disrespectful.
Don't worry, he forgets it.
Justin Jettis.
Jefferson.
That's going to be on the intro. You look out for that. Will Johnson.
can't
then. All right. It's-
So it's a sweep.
yeah,
damn,
because
for
he's on my board too. And if he's the best remaining prospect, and the Niners, okay, let's put it this way. They're okay with taking on a project right here because if he really pays the fuck off and he's a 6-7 year island style cornerback, he's well worth sitting on for a year.
Yeah, that I kind of want to piggyback off of that. And another reason why I think if he's on the board that they take him is because they brought in Trey Brown. So you don't even have to really play him right away. He can be someone that comes up later in the year and hopefully performs.
I have a feeling he does okay.
Okay. Next
Cowboys.
Oh, boy.
I think it's between two players because if Omar and Hampton was on board, it would be here. I think it's between two players, and I don't think it's McMillan because I think CD and McMillan kind of run the same kind of shit.
But
I can see that.
Different, like, physically.
But they both kind of are down the field. They're kind of run
crossers.
the same.
They're
kind of
deep
the same
crossers.
route.
They're deep crossers.
We're now-
is what they are. Not that CD can do whatever
Right.
the fuck he wants. I'm not saying he's
I just feel like
But-
McMillan doesn't like. You need the other dude, and I think the other dude is Golden. I think Golden goes here with the speed. You give the speed. Now you have the crazy speed guy to go with the route runner of CD to go with the tight end. I think that this is a play, and then you look running back like next round because there's not another first round running back. So I'm going Matthew Golden. I think McMillan's in play here too.
Okay. But wide receiver being that the two running backs are off the board.
Yes, I think it's wide receiver.
Or
I
the,
just think,
the first round running back.
I think Golden gives that other element to them over the McMillan doing the same stuff, kind of run the same routes that a CD runs, in my opinion. And I think that Golden might have jumped McMillan in this kind of thing. McMillan just kind of seems like a dumbass.
I really like Hampton here if he's on the board. He's not for me. So for me, I think Jerry Jones is going to want a homegrown boy. I'm in with as much as they lost on the offensive line, Calvin Biggs Jr. My pick.
Not a terrible move for them right there either, I wouldn't say. Once again, we spoke to when, Dallas was the closest to being competitive is when they had all-pro guards and centers.
You're going to want to recreate that.
Yeah. So based off of conversations that has, been spoken over the last couple of minutes, Omar and Hampton is right there for me at 12. I still don't necessarily like the value, but they're going to do this. This is exactly what the Cowboys should do at 12, I suppose, because they need what he provides.
Dak Prescott needs a run game.
Bad. A guy who can break a tackle in the backfield, too, because Dowdle was not that dude. Nobody feared that backfield at all. If you get Hampton, at least there's that question mark, right? Like, we got to prepare for this dude. So I'm going to go ahead and take Omar and Hampton right there to the Cowgirls.
Dolphins are up next. I have Banks on the board, and it's a very interesting pick because now you have Ramsey is wanting to trade. So now your number one corner is wanting to trade.
Well, and they said that he could search for it, too. They granted him that.
You picked Patrick Paul from Houston last year in the second round to take over from left tackle anyway.
Okay.
So how comfortable you feel with him is whether you're not going to take Banks. I'm feeling comfortable with him, and I think that I'm going to take Barron here, and because Ramsey's out the door, so I'm taking the next best corner. I thought about going Nick here or even Starks, but I think that now that Ramsey is on his way out the door, I'm taking the second best corner in the draft, and they have him way lower than I actually would. He was kind of far.
He's higher in different mocks.
Yeah, he was kind of far down in that for some reason.
But I mean, he fits the scheme. He fits the scheme real well. It's really between him, Barron, and maybe like a Mike Green, Shamar Stewart, maybe. But they just have drafted there recently, so I'm with you. I'm actually going to go Barron too. What you got for Miami, Chuck?
Charlie.
Yeah, I got you.
Charlie.
All right. So
what do you got for Miami?
It's funny because the way that I feel they would, for some reason, just with Tyler Warren right there, is just, I know that they had a good year with, why am I drawing it? Jonnu Smith actually had a really good year with,
really good year.
Tua last year. So I think the idea of accentuating the tight end and getting that guy to play off of Waddle and Hill is insane to think about. And I know McDaniels is obviously a push the tempo kind of guy. You can sling it around the yard. I'm going to go with the best defensive tackle, though, because they lost Christian Wilkins last year. They didn't replace him, and Derek Harmon is
Derek
sitting right
Harmon,
there, yeah.
okay.
I think that is the best position for them to draft immediately with, like, I do understand the cornerback needs to come into play for them sooner rather than later as well.
Especially if they lose Ramsey.
Yeah, but then in theory they're going to get some sort of compensation for him, so who knows what that could potentially be.
I mean,
you're going to downgrade, though.
A third?
You're going to downgrade from
A
Ramsey.
third, fourth? You're not
At this point, he's not getting...
You're not getting a first or second, I don't think.
I don't
A
think so
desperate team might throw a second, but no way a first. But I'm going with Derek Harmon right here.
All right, next is the Indianapolis Colts. Well, I think it's a home run pick for who's on my board. I think
It's
we all have
Warren,
him on
right?
the board. It's Tyler Warren.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
It's
What's a quarterback's best friend?
a wide open
A tight end that can run 3-yard routes.
Dude, he is going to kill it. I don't know if he makes it this long. I don't know if somebody gets up there. That's the one dude that maybe somebody does trade up for if he starts to fall. Him and Colson Loveland are elite. Both of them are elite tight ends.
Again, it's just one of those positions that's devalued, like linebacker or running back, but we had the running backs going
well, look what Brock Bowers has been
Look
doing.
at what Gronk used to do.
Well, and then
look
the
at what
Lions.
Kittle can do. Look at what
Shane
Laporta, Sam Laporta has been
Laporta.
able to do. Mark Andrews when he's
that
on
kid
top
from
baseman.
Arizona.
Are we all sweep?
McBride.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't score a touchdown, but had a lot of yards.
Are we all?
Yeah,
Warren?
with the way the board has fallen, unless you go Colston, I have seen him here. I've seen Warren and Colston Loveland for pure tight endness get flip flopped. But I will say Warren to me is the overall better prospect.
For the Falcons, you have to go edge. It's whatever edge you think is better. At this position, they can't get shit pressure on anybody. You sit back there and throw all day with the Falcons. I could probably play quarterback against the Falcons. They don't get any pressure on anybody. I have Shermer Stewart and I have Mike Green on the board.
Yep, me too. Which one do you like better?
I mean, it's Shermer Stewart's another one you just kind of get enamored with, man. The size is there. The quickness, the
Mike
speed
Green
is
had
there.
17
The production
sacks.
isn't, though.
But the production
17
isn't.
sacks last year alone.
I'm going to go I'm thinking Mike Green, but I'm a little bit worried about the off the field stuff, but I'm going to hit Mike Green here over Shermer just because of that. But I think that Shermer is, if you put him in the right position, he's going to kick the fuck out of some people.
Yeah, I think he's probably a better pro prospect. I was between those two guys as well, but since you lean Green, I'm just going to follow your lead. So how about that?
How about that?
How about that?
You got Chuck.
How about that? So, based off of what they are saying is the biggest need for this team is cornerback, right? They also need edge rusher for sure. Interior as they cut Grady Jarrett, and Derek Harmon's off the board for me. But you know who isn't? Is Jahdae Barron. And I think that
Still got him on your board?
yeah, and I think that you take the cornerback right there.
If he's there.
Yeah. I think that that's a fair pick because there's going to be edge rushers that you can snag in the next couple of rounds.
Yeah.
And the cornerbacks dry up quick, actually. After Hairston, once he's going to go, which might be a little later in this round, it gets a little thin at CB.
Now you're cutting my guy Benjamin Morrison a little short there.
Sorry.
Trey
My
Amos is a good
guy.
guy. So next is the Cardinals. I think they can go a couple different ways here. You have the defense tackle Nolan, or rather Harmon, whoever you think is higher. I think McMillan's an interesting pick here to team him up with a Marvin Harrison. Edge with the Shermer Stewart is still in play. You could go guard. Do you go Booker here to start? To protect. I'm going to go Shermer Stewart, best player on board at edge. Back-to-back edges going. I need to get more pressure on the quarterback as a Cardinal.
Who did they draft? Who did they draft out of UCLA last year, first round? Who the hell was that? They had 2 first-round picks last year, remember? And they chose that kid out of UCLA off the edge. I can't remember his fucking name. Obviously, he didn't make that big of an impact.
Yeah, I can't think of who you're talking about, Charlie.
Do you remember that pick, though? They
No.
had 2 first-rounders. All right, well, never
Not
mind.
off,
All right.
not off top of my dome
That's
right
fine.
now.
Trev, what you got for the Cardinals for this year?
Dude, I'm going between Shamar Stewart, Jalen Walker, and Derek Harmon. Those are the guys on the board that I'm looking at for this team.
Oh, Jalen Walker's been long gone on my board.
I
so-
know. I think he falls.
Okay.
How far though? Is this
Banana.
a spot? I mean, coming from Philly, coach he likes those Georgia players. Damn. You know what?
I know some things.
I know some things. Damn. I think I'm also gonna go. Fuck. Do you think they need more edge or interior?
What team are we on again?
Cardinals.
Cardinals. I don't know. I think that I think they need edge more. I don't think they get shit for pressure. But they also are getting the kid back from LSU that I forgot about that they lost last year.
BJ Ojulari this year.
Yeah, and I like him. But Shermer Stewart's a bigger lineman. BJ Ojulari is like the linebacker.
I'm going Derek Harmon.
Good pick.
I don't mind that.
Charlie?
Pick. I kind of don't like it because of the Cardinals, but given the way it has fallen, there's a couple of names that, like, it's funny to me that they don't say safety. I know they have Buda Baker, but they really need to get younger at that position as well. And Malachi is sitting right there, along with Emanwari as well, which fits that scheme insanely. Jonathan Gannon would know how to use that talent as well. The tape over the prospect, the hope versus the hype, right? Like, and that's Shamar Stewart. With the way that it has fallen and the way that they have him rated, this would be a great value pick.
Great value.
Just that. I don't think that's what they're gonna do, though. I really don't. I don't think that Tet McMillan sitting right there, Golden Banks is an option. Malachi Starks just for some reason is the name that
Sticks
I'm
out
pulling.
to you?
Yes, this is the one that
Pull the trigger, Charlie.
It's what I'm doing for the Cardinals right here. I understand that I see there's other needs for them, but like the center that you fortify, you get younger at a position that's been really good in Arizona for a long time, like Malachi Starks.
The Bengals are up next. I'm going Nick Emanwari here. Give safety on the back end.
That doesn't matter in my draft.
Safety on the back end. That's what I'm doing here.
I'm going Jahad Campbell. I think he's the best
Good
prospect
pick.
on the board.
That's a great.
It's
that's
position of need.
This is where the Shamar Stewart comes to me right here because
All
Hubbard
different, all
and,
players they could use.
All defense.
Yeah,
man.
I'm going Shamar Stewart because he's still on my board.
And I don't have a cornerback high enough to go here.
Yeah, same.
Otherwise,
Right.
I
No,
would've
after
corner.
Barron and Johnson have been off the board.
Yeah. Next is the Seattle Seahawks. Charlie, we'll let you start this.
I love that. Dude, everybody I'm looking on my board right here, I would not argue with. As far down as like Gray Zabel.
Tetro would be a nice fit if he fell to you here.
A lot of people say that he could. And I don't know. I get it why it could make sense.
It's a nice fit.
And the value, I don't want that wide receiver. I mean, not him. I just mean a wide receiver. But the value versus what he could be, I don't want to be talked into it because my board says he's right there. It does.
But we talked.
Your guy. Your guy you've been picking all along.
My shiny toy is right there. I got.
He's off mine. Go.
Yeah, I know.
Go.
But from me and mine's,
Well, me and yours get you going.
I'm gonna get it going. Nick Emanwari, lock it in.
Lock it in.
Final mock for moi.
I'm going Kelvin Banks Jr. Best offensive lineman on the board.
I would not be upset.
And then maybe you can push him
If
inside.
that would be the only other person that would be like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kelvin Banks could go to the Dolphins. Otherwise, I do see a scenario where he could fall all the way to the
I wouldn't
Seahawks.
be angry at that. I like him over Booker if it falls this way. You had mocked Booker to me several times, but I'm assuming that's with Banks being off the board beforehand.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I agreed. Like, I think you want to give Darnold the best opportunity to succeed here, and the best offensive lineman on my board that's left is Booker, and that's where I'm going because I think you need that help interior.
I think Banks would go inside if he needed to. So
Yeah.
that's
He could play guard.
Or the tackle, either way. Charlie, so we're now at the Buccaneers.
19, yeah, the Bucks.
I'm going Jahad Campbell. Makes all the sense in the world here. Middle linebacker, they've gotten real old there. They've lost a lot of guys there. He's going to bring him back, the middle linebacker of the Buccaneers.
That's a great call because that's all like Derek Brooks and like I like that. I like that pick a lot. The other one that I would consider here would be
You guys
Michael
just keep
Williams.
going. I'll come back and say.
Okay, because we're probably going to rotate at this point.
Okay.
I like Michael Williams here as well, given their need. And I took both of the top safeties off the board for them, so safety is probably going to be a position later down the board for them, given the way it's fallen. They did re-sign Chris Godwin, and they still do have Mike Evans, obviously, and they drafted Jalen McMillan. So the wide receiver, I wouldn't take a wide receiver here either. The way the board has fallen, for me, I'm going to take Michael Williams here. That one's I like the Jahad Campbell pick from him as well. That makes a lot of sense to get a middle linebacker because Levante David is getting older. Like they do need help there too. But for me, it's Michael Williams.
I wouldn't take him here, but I think the Bucks are with him on my board. Jalen Walker to the Bucks.
Okay,
that's my pick.
We need to maybe start making some like inside bets of like.
Come on, keep going. No, come on.
I don't think
20.
that Jalen Walker goes that far. Maybe we make a little inside bet that doesn't happen.
You do that.
I'm all for that.
Denver Broncos.
I'm all for like calling the picks as they come draft day. I know we're not going to draft it, but we pick every team that's going to make the pick and then wager something on it.
That might get hairy.
That get real hairy real quick.
I think Tetro's in play here. I think Colson Loveland's in play here, and I also think Mbuka is in play here. I'm going Colson Loveland because I think that he is one of the best pass catchers, and you're going to give Sean Payton a crazy weapon for Bo Nix, whether he lines up on the line, in the slot, completely outside. I'm going Colson Loveland, tight end, Michigan.
Same. What you got, Chuck?
Man,
Thinking about it.
yeah, I am. The way this has fallen for Denver, they can hit on several prospects here. Jahad Campbell's sitting right there. Matthew Golden to pair with Cortland Sutton doesn't sound terrible. Loveland is not a bad pick there either. Like I feel like they've got some bangers right here for what they need. What I think that they're going to do with the way the board has fallen is I think that you take Tet McMillan right here. And you try to unlock him. Although the question mark, if he doesn't watch film and blah, 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 is are you going to understand Peyton's offense? Because it is complex. And Loveland had like 40% of the fucking Michigan offensive yards through the air. Like the guy is a proven pass catcher, understands the system. I'll lock in Loveland too. It does make more sense overall. It does, given the way Peyton, yeah.
Next is an interesting one with the Steelers.
Yeah.
Do they go Derek Harmon or do they go Jackson Dart?
Well, Harmon's off of my board.
Same.
I'm going to rotate.
Rotate.
Do you quarterback? Do they fuck this up and not take quarterback here? I mean, they have Mason Rudolph as their starting quarterback on their team.
Yeah, I mean, they're desperate there, but with your second pick, is it that much of a drop-off? Maybe they like a guy that's projected higher.
I have Derek Harmon on the board. I don't know. I think they're going to fuck it up. That's why I picked this. I'm going Derek Harmon.
Going Derek Harmon. I'm in similar thought, but with Derek Harmon off my board, I'm going Walter Nolan.
Good pick. I mean, what are we gonna? What are they seriously thinking? I don't like. I understand the Browns. The Browns and Giants have to be salivating if they don't pick Jackson Dart here.
Yeah.
Even the Raiders should be salivating if they don't pick Jackson Dart here. This is where you trade back and take the corner, and then trade up to take the quarterback.
Yeah, and
that's like the perfect for the Raiders. That'd be like the perfect draft. You get the second to use that second to use your to come back up into the first and take the Jackson Dart. Like it's I mean, I went Derek Harmon. He went Walter Nolan. Jackson Dart did not come off the board, Charlie.
Yeah, we discussed him heavily because definitely an option here for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think they're in quarterback purgatory. They fucked themselves.
They've been
Absolutely.
in
No,
purgatory.
agreed.
Did they swing here?
For Jackson Dart?
I mean, that's what we're talking about.
Right. Is he going to get pushed up like Kenny Pickett did?
I think he's better than Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
He's
Agreed.
way more athletic and throws a way better ball.
He's got a stronger arm. He is better, moving and shaking. I don't disagree.
Moving and shaking and getting it grooving.
Yeah, no, Harmon's off my board. Nolan would make sense for DT because they do need to get younger at that. Cam Hayward's not getting any younger. If the rumor is that you're going to trade fucking TJ Watt, that could change your draft strategy quite often. Yeah, I can see it.
Mikael Williams. No, I was
Is off of my
I was
board.
thinking what was in that bag of Mike and Ike's.
Two, it's a box. All right. No, I don't. I don't think realistically they're going to swing for Jackson Dart. I think they're going to have shades of Pickett, dude. I don't think they're going to do that.
Scarred.
Yeah,
Scarred.
Then who they taking, Chuck?
Scarred.
dude. For me, I know that they've invested already heavily in their offensive line, but if you're not going to have a quarterback, keep fortifying that line. Banks Jr. is sitting right there at
Still
21.
on your board.
Yes.
They have drafted 2 tackles in the last 2 drafts.
Okay, but fine. You kick one of them in, and you have 3 guys that you can,
that's-
mull around. Who gets
Agreed.
hurt the most on a football field?
Running back.
Yeah.
If you're a Raider, that's not.
Same for the Niners, man.
I think it just given prospect over the D tackles for me, the way they have fallen, the premier ones are off. The tackle is what's left / a guy you could kick into guard. Banks.
Banks.
Bank it. Next up is the the Los Angeles
There you go.
Superchargers.
The Los Angeles thing.
I think it's a home run for who I have on my board still with McMillan. He gives them the outside guy with the inside guy being who they drafted last year. And Will McConkey, I think Tetro McMillan's a home run.
Lad McConkey.
I think
Ladidi.
I think he's a home run.
Goes by.
Conkey was a good pick.
And I think McMillan's a home run here for the value you're getting on the outside.
McMillan's gone on my board, so I do consider Golden here. But with losing Bosa, I'm with Shamar Stewart still on my board, who can play both edge and interior. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
Charlie.
Walter Nolan's on the board for me right here. So, given not that
He mixing it up here in the later rounds.
It's not to say that Herbert doesn't need another wide receiver, and Tet McMillan and Golden are both exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
But Tet McMillan,
Nolan's going to be.
I think
gone.
it's a value pick at this point.
Sure, I can understand that too.
If he's there.
But right. And what he has more than Johnston is hands.
Yeah, Johnson has no hands.
Nah.
Running
No
out there,
hands.
still hands. I can't catch the ball, coach. I can't catch the ball.
I'm still going Nolan though. I am. I think that's yeah.
All right, the Green Bay Packers.
I'm going Mikael Williams, edge. They need to get pressure. The cornerback is interesting here with Maxwell Harrison. That was the other person I was thinking.
It's not a bad take because Jair's upset. He's going to want out.
Yeah, and I just think that Mikael's a little bit higher on my board. And you need pressure. Gary, right? Gray?
Rashawn Gary.
He's getting a little bit older. Mikael Williams is and also just a higher prospect on my board. Man, the Harrison pick is interesting though. I'm going to lock it in with Williams.
Money, who you got?
I almost went Harrison.
Go ahead of me because I'm still trying to decide on this.
Mine's
man.
easy, dude. Tet McMillan has fallen right here.
Oh, damn.
The way this is shaking out, they do need a number one wide receiver. They got a bunch of some guys, but they don't have the guy.
Wilkins just gets, or Christian, what's his face just gets hurt all
Watson?
the time. Yeah, Watson, he gets hurt all the time.
But they have, I mean, again, I feel like it could use more veteran presence there. They have a
Yeah,
lot of
me
young,
too.
promising receivers, so I don't know if they go there with the first pick for me.
I just, once again, you said value pick. What it feels like Jordan Love needs is a fucking Uno. Tet.
Man, I am trying to decide between an edge like Mikael Williams or Scorton, or I even going further down, Siobhan Ravel. Is that how you say it?
Yep. I like Harrison a little bit better.
Harrison? I think Ravel has the higher upside.
And I think that's a position they consider because their corner issues. But man,
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going there. I'm going Ravel.
Good job.
Yeah.
I like it. I think has a higher upside between the prospects left at this position. There's some defensive ends that I like, but I think he's probably the higher upside there.
Next up is the Minnesota Vikings. I'm looking at safety because I still have Starks on my board, but I'm also looking at my third corner as Maxwell Harrison, and I'm going Maxwell Harrison with the Vikings. That's who I'm taking.
Okay, hold on, because I done flubbed this whole material right here.
Oh, no. Did you back
I
out?
sure did.
Oh, damn.
We gonna
you
be
done
all right.
messed it up.
It's going to be all right.
For me, for the Vikings, it's Mikael Williams, Malachi Starks, Nick Emenwari. All those guys are right there on the board still. Even maybe Zabel, it might be a little early for him.
I don't know. I think he might go to the Seahawks, too.
Like, I think he's in it.
Zabel has been taken there several times. Like,
Oh, man.
Do you remember who you picked at all your positions?
that's
in?
what I'm doing right now, yeah.
Good luck with that.
I'm doing all right.
Do it.
You do it. I flipped Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter by accident, but I've been spot on since.
Hey, how do you do that on accident?
Because I've been clicking, dog.
I've been clicking, dog.
Clicking, dog.
Man, freak.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going Zabel. I think you want to have that protection for your rookie quarterback. Value that. That guy can play interior, either guard or center, maybe even some tackle. He's a multiple offensive lineman.
Good looking, Trev. Charlie, you back with us?
I'm getting close. Draft results. So we going
We on the
to.
well,
That's right.
you're
Hold on. No,
picking
we're on
for
the
the
Vikings.
Vikings.
I'm picking for the Vikings. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. All right. So
Listen back. Charlie's picks
no,
ain't going to match his
no,
words.
calm the fuck down.
Everything's changed.
A little
Got
bit.
a brand new draft for Chuck.
I'm sorry. You guys giggle. I know I kind of botched it, but thanks guys for having my back. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
You're welcome.
No. We gonna be all right?
Yeah,
we gonna make it?
Are you?
Who you got?
I am absolutely gonna make it, dude. All right. Botched it. No, okay. So for the Minnesota Vikings, they're gonna go Gray Zabel right here. I think that
All
right.
it's a very
We matched.
it's a very easy play for them. They invested in the other guard. They paid, what was his fucking name?
That one guy.
The tie.
He's gonna play with Justin Jettas. I almost forgot about that guy too.
The JJ guy.
JJ guy.
He might be a good
Next up.
receiver.
Next up is the Houston Texans. I'm going Tyler Booker here.
Ooh.
He's still on my board. They need all offensive line all day long. He's the best offensive lineman on the board.
I agree with you, but for me, it's Josh Simmons. I think this is the spot he can go. Possibly one of the best tackle in the draft if healthy.
Yep.
Oh, dude, given that's exactly what the Texans need and the way this has fallen, Justin Simmons is absolutely what would have been left on my board for tackle. That one's an easy call. I can remember that because I got a photogenic memory.
We haven't got that far, so how did you remember it? LA Rams are next.
Oh boy.
I'm making a crazy pick here.
Oh damn.
Make it.
The LA Rams are taking Jackson Dart, quarterback from Ole Miss.
Oh, this is where he goes for you, huh?
I think it's a home run pick. He sits behind Matt Stafford for 2 years. I think that's like you're up next, dude. You have drafted so well on all your stuff. You can afford to take kind of a flyer at this spot.
Okay, I like that. The way that my shit has fallen is Tyler Booker sitting right there, and they've dealt a lot of their offensive line over the last year. And if you're going to keep Stafford upright, you need an anchor in the middle of that line. I'm taking Tyler Booker. That's an easy call for me, given where we're at in the draft.
After looking at the top picks that are available, I kind of lean Dart as well, man. It just makes a lot of sense. You don't know how much longer you're going to have your quarterback for.
And Sean McVay is a quarterback whisperer. Imagine what he could do with the talent of Jackson Dart.
And not having to play him right away.
Correct. It's like the perfect scenario. Like what you want for, like a lot of the quarterbacks in this draft, it's kind of what you want. A couple years for them to kind of sit back, see the shit, and like figure it out.
Especially, yeah, if you get to bring him up under Stafford.
Charlie, are you Los Angeles Rams pick is up?
Yeah,
he picked before me.
I already
did
picked
you?
it. Yeah, I was
we
gonna say,
on the
Tyler
Ravens.
Booker.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Charlie. Next, we got the Baltimore Ravens.
This is a team that I feel like can afford to go in several different directions,
I'm
right?
going with top player on my board. I'm going to put another stud safety next to another stud safety, and I'm going to take Malachi Starks.
That's true. He's not off. Yeah, he's not off either of your guys.
To run with
He just seems like a Raven.
with what's his face, dude. They're gonna because Malachi Starks come up in the box and be your nickel, and then also come off the edge because he does both those well. I think it's a home run for the Ravens here. They'll use him right, and you still have what's the kid that's from Notre
Hamilton.
Dame? Yeah, and he's an All-Pro, dude. He's a stud.
Having both of them in the backfield, that'd be nasty. They need that defensive.
From my board, it doesn't fall that way. Both of my top safeties are gone. Starks and Eminwari are gone.
I think they're both going first round, though. We can all agree on that.
Sure.
Not another one, but there's going to be two safeties going first round.
You know who is left on my board though, and does make sense to cut it up with Zay Flowers is Matthew Golden.
I thought about him
sitting right there.
I thought about him.
Yeah, and I think that pick just makes a lot of sense given they want to continue to make that offensive, like the passing game lethal for Lamar. And he's right there at that speed to keep up with everybody else. I know Mark Andrews has kind of been a question mark, but Matthew Golden is a pick for me right here for the Ravens.
Next is the Lions. Man, I'm looking at this. And I got to get some pass rush.
Yeah,
I got to get some
I don't
edge.
disagree with that.
I know they have Scorton above Pierce. I'm going James Pierce, Tennessee, edge rusher. I'm going to bring the heat here. I still have Nolan on the board, but I'm going to go Pierce and bring the heat.
I just think the speed between him and Hutchinson, I have Pierce right here. I've picked. I know that there's that what if, but the what ifs have not played out as negatively as they have recently,
I think Pierce is going to have he might not have like a great rookie year, but I think he's going to be a good prospect.
Yeah,
and I like him more. I think he's way more. Scroton maybe had a better college career, but you see dudes that have better college careers and just they just played good in college.
He doesn't pop the same way that Pierce did. And Pierce was supposed to be a top 5 coming into this year.
Pierce is going to fly off the edge.
Similar thinking for me, but with Mikael Williams on the board, that's
I'm if he falls there, that's hard to.
I think the next pick's in a kind of a home run.
With the Washington?
I do see edge up there, and I have Scrotum. But I also know that I got to get my guy.
Say that name again.
Scruton. I see another name up there that's going to be a home run, and you're going to put him in your wide receiver core. Is Emeka Mbuka, wide receiver Ohio State. You need to get Jaden looking more weapons, and he is a weapon.
Even with just adding Debo?
Yep. I'm going wide receiver here.
I wasn't supposed to laugh.
Don't laugh.
Don't laugh.
Who do you like here, Roscoe?
Shit, man, the way it has fallen with... I like the Emeka pick right here, too. I really like that kid out of BC or Kenneth Grant right here. I know that they just lost Jonathan Allen to retirement. Or they cut him, I think. But either way, they need to get more defensive interior.
Donovan Ezekiriaki.
Yeah, Ezekiraku.
Yeah.
I think, Kenneth Grant is who I'm going right here. Direct interior. That's the best that I have left in that position. I think that's what they need the most. Outside of potentially cornerback, so Hairston might be a pick for me here.
I already went Harrison. So
he's on my board, but I like them. I think that they go line before cornerback because they do have Forbes.
Trey Amos could be on the board here too.
Sure. But I'm still going Grant.
I'm looking at. There's a couple different spots. I mean, edge. We got Scruton. I got. The guy from Boston College, I don't even want to attempt that last name. I still got Pierce from Tennessee.
That's
on the
right.
board.
He went to Detroit for the both of us.
Also, I kind of look at Imamori, the safety.
He hasn't come off your board yet, huh?
My board.
Oh shit! Okay.
And I think being
He's a Seahawk,
the freak that he is, I think they take a chance on him here. Make Imamori. So
awesome. Next up is the Buffalo Bills. I have Walter Nolan still on the board. It's between him and I think Amos here. They need cornerback help. There's not a linebacker on the board. Receiver wise, I'm kind of maybe if Mbuko is here, maybe wide receiver.
I have him on my board.
But I think it's corner for me or defensive tackle, and I have still Walter Nolan, and I'm going to go Walter Nolan defensive tackle.
I have Nolan off of my board, and Hairston I think is the pick here since
That's
he's
a good pick.
A scrappy dude. He's going to fit that Buffalo fucking. He's going to be Bills Mafia in no time, busting through tables and shit.
Busting through tables and shit.
Yeah,
busting through tables and shit.
So you're going Maxwell?
Yeah,
Harrison?
I'm going Hairston.
Good pick.
Oh man, I still have him on my board. I have Golden on my board. I have Scruton on my board. I have Pierce on my board.
So you're saying that they're going to get a quality prospect?
You have Golden on your
saying.
dude. That'd be a crazy pick for them to get Golden. That'd be sick. I'd be hella pumped for that.
That would be pretty insane.
Dude,
I don't know if they pull the trigger on that, but I mean, that would be
dude, that'd be intense
because they did Keon Coleman in the first round last year.
No, yeah,
worked out pretty well. He stands
like
to
him.
even get better too. Yeah, he's hilarious.
no, they traded back and took him in the second round, didn't they?
Oh, that's right, because they gave up Xavier Worthy at 31
Yeah.
or 30 to the Chiefs, to the Chefs.
With them getting Bosa too in free agency, I kind of probably push back on what edges are available here. So I actually think I'm leaning Golden here. I just swing for it, man. Get those guys.
Swing that wiener.
It's clearly been a
Kansas
run-on
City.
fucking pod. Look at us go.
Kansas City, it's easy peasy for what I have left on my board. Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
Yeah, that would be a huge
If it
win.
fell that way, that would be insane. Yeah, for sure.
Who do you like here, Chuck?
I mean, Kansas City could stand to pair somebody with Karlaftis, and Scroton is right there. I like the take of Emeka Mbuka coming in with their question marks at wide receiver as far as like Rashid Rice being, and then Marquise Brown being a question mark. You get what would be Emeka Mbuka was supposed to be the dude. He's actually fallen quite a bit in the last year or two. So to get him here to pair with Patrick Mahomes doesn't sound like a terrible fucking idea. We're gonna draft Jackson Dart. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go with Emeka Mbuka.
For the Chiefs, for how the board's fallen, it's between Scruton and Grant, and I think I'm going Grant. I think Grant comes off here,
I like
man.
that. I have him off my board.
Last pick for the first round, since we didn't need trades, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. So I have Zabel on my board still, but I also think they're going to go edge over guard, and I'm going to go Donovan from Boston College here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Donovan E.
Yeah, DE. Big DE here.
I have Scroton still on my board. He goes here.
I just think that DE is better than Scruton.
There it is. Well, I'm going the other way around.
Man, this is a tough pick at the last of the the final pick of the first.
Oh man, we can't fit it in one screenshot.
Really?
Maybe. Hold on, you got to download it. Let's see. Yeah, you download it and it fits.
Okay, good.
Screenshotted, bitches.
I mean, when I look at that, they got either an edge and a DT that is a position in need. So I think I have to go defensive line here. And I think I go Scruton as far as what I have left, best available. It's between him, Pierce from Tennessee, and the Boston College edge as well.
That's three not terrible prospects at 32.
Yeah, it's tough.
Eagles got it tough, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure they got it real tough.
I don't want to hear about that. You make your pick.
I guess I'm going Scruton, but it's a tough choice right there. It's gonna be a win for them either way. It feels
all three of those prospects could pan out.
Mine's screenshotted. Mine's locked and loaded.
Mine's not. Mine's all behind and shit. So
did you fuck it up again?
No, but I just didn't keep going. I didn't fill in the gaps. So I got to remember from 14 onward.
Well, send those to me so I can post them if you're not going to post them.
Just hit download.
Oh, yeah, no, I got it.
No, you guys got it. I'll figure out.
I emailed mine
as well.
I sent
We're
it
going
to
to email
it. I sent it a text. That was a great pod, boys. Check us out, Instagram X.
You guys, the draft is on Thursday,
baby.
Yeah.
We're so stoked.
Yeah, clearly, if you couldn't tell by
NBA
draft party.
NBA playoffs kick off too. The real stuff on Sunday.
Yeah, my Warriors are playing.
Get the Lakers.
We'll find out.
The Lakers' road to the championship is what I like to call it.
No.
That was pod 92, y'all.
93. Chuck, it's 93, brother. You
Check
got a little
yourself.
bit
I am
of it.
all fucked off right now. I fucked up the draft. I fucked up the pod number.
Catch up.
Look,
You backed out
Mama
of the
tomato,
draft.
Papa tomato.
How did you back out?
Because Travis was texting me. Look, we're gonna back all that up. None of this needs to happen right here. Okay, Jesus
Yes, it
Christ.
is. We're inside
Okay.
info.
Ready? That's our mock 2.0. Be aware for the draft that's coming up on Thursday. There's going to be a fucking killer draft party. You have your shit saved. You have your shit saved.
Hopefully
I'm working
Charlie
on
can
saving
figure
my
People are
it
shit.
going to be wearing some hats.
Absolutely.
I ain't wearing
Some
nobody's hat.
side bets are going down this draft,
I
too.
feel like Charlie is going to be wearing
I might wear two. My NBA takes were crazy.
We're going to be throwing them back. It's going to be crazy Thursday.
Yeah, we're into some
and then
smoking cigars and throwing back the beers.
Yeah, we'll catch up with you next time on a little recap on how the draft has gone.
Yeah,
for pod 94.
we think. Yeah, 94 draft grades.